especially want Persona off of, something they can show a little bit more of their mechanical skill on. So we'll see what Argentina are thinking about as they go ahead, but it seems like a major rework is in order for how they're approaching this matchup.
Just put the cat in, and then the cat bastion, then you can maybe match up. Because the thing is, you're just hovering there the whole time. You saw it on Lighthouse. They're just hovering above Cage the entire time. And it's like, well, we can get to the point, sure, but we're going to take 1,000,000 damage. So they're like, okay, we'll go through the enemy mega, and then we'll go down to the point. But yeah, it's a little rough, Maybe they end up just banning the bastion or the cat as we go on.
Tem espaço.
Deferred.
Oh yeah, you did deferred, you're right.
They did,
yeah.
yes. But they did pick Runasapi, which can be another Cat Bastion map out of the pool that
Cara, todo inimigo é resistente aqui.
Surprising, I guess, unless you have a very specific style, or you are banning one of the two heroes, which I think it's going to be one. It would be the cat, but we'll go ahead and see. Lep seemingly wanting to avoid that one for now. I think Mauga could be another point of focus for one of these bans. I think a Wrecking Ball, the Diva, more of these faster playstyles are something that Argentina have enjoyed in the past, and I think they could pull out here on Runasapi.
The go-to anti-Cat Bastion strat is New York City. That's like Cat Bastion strat is New York City. That's like Cat Bastion strat. Or you can do something like this, where you go to a map where it's fairly strong, and then ban it, and then still have New Junk City later. So yeah, Argentina with the first ban. They're going to ban the cats and Mauga.
Oh, nem vejo.
You know, honestly, it's going to feel like a bit of a fresh start, because we didn't get to see much of anything from Argentina, just because of how...
Do nada, morri, não vi nem como tomei dano.
Having that cat off the board opens up so much more of the map for them to be
Muito
able to
fraco.
work with. Without the Mauga, you're probably leaning away from this Reaper as well.
Talvez 800 de vida e 300 de escudo seja pouco para o momento.
On this side of things, and I will highlight more the
Importante
individual skill
você
as
tá aí,
that
né, cara?
overall
Vamos morrer de novo.
team play,
Eu caí?
Não.
De novo.
Não, tá safe. Não morri não.
É,
qualquer tapa de qualquer mob aqui quebra meu shield.
Essa tá precisando de mais energia shield.
Right.
For this game, and yeah, we'll have to see if it's going to pay off on this
Mas eu tenho que procurar.
Sometimes the way you phrase that was funny. It's like, well, you know, if they had the choice, I don't think they'd
Vacilo,
go
né,
match. But
cara?
like, well, I think if they had the choice, I think this map and then also
Chegando
banning the cat
no
was the
indie
perfect
game,
one. I'm
no
going to be
título
honest.
da
That
feira.
is.
Just
Get that off
tô
the
quase,
table,
pô.
go back to fair Overwatch.
Eu vou
Even
aqui,
see if
então,
they even play some
deixando o
That was
indie
like
game.
the comp of choice towards the latter half
Porque eu
of
desisti do Play 2.
OWCS
O
took it
título
a
do meu
couple of
vídeo.
days ago. And it was a comp that I don't think many people expected to be played at all, or Mizuki did receive a couple of little buffs, which kind of propelled him into the meta. Although this kind of map is like, okay, we have to run Lucio, the map is so open, plus it being pushed as well. So we'll see what strats both teams have up their sleeves. They're probably going to still play the Lucio as we go to Runasapi, thanks to Argentina.
Yeah, I think Lep is a lot more comfortable on this Lucio, and it's kind of his signature from what we have seen. Chile did mention in their interview that LCS has been a Mizuki enjoyer as of late. If there was a time to pull it out, this map would certainly make sense for it.
Relação pros gatos estão enchendo o saco.
Of our compositions, see how real these actually are. This is something
Fazendo
similar to what we saw
me
Argentina
chocar.
do in the Conference Cup, having Tizzy on this Zarya and having Saxon have more of this ranged poke damage on one of the flyers. Whether that will actually stick or not, we'll find out. But now that you have more room for mechanical skill, more room for, as you put it, honest mechanical skill, I think Argentina, we'll see if they can actually go toe-to-toe with Chile. They're going to be more focused on this front line. Eli May and the Burt Bastion.
Okay, yeah, they're playing pure front to back. Like, this couldn't be more front to back if they tried. The Sigma also, to be fair, has shown its head over the last couple of weeks. So, you know what? I kind of like this. It's way slower. You have Lep, obviously, on the brig, too. I mean, we'll see how Argentina actually navigate this. The speed for Chile is going to be their biggest form of like aggression here. Just putting up a speed or like amping the speed up for Bird to then swing a corner is going to be real nice. But Argentina have a lot of defense. Although with them going down first, that defense cut in half.
He just kind of explodes. And the hard part with this too is
Está
that
tão agressivo
Chile
assim.
can close that gap. There's not much Argentina can do. They're relying on Saxon.
Relaxou, cara.
Can happen, and seeing Lep swap over that Lucio instantly makes a lot more sense. But they gotta keep Tizzy on his
Estou com a
feet.
minha vareta, mano.
Yeah, Saxon's going to be able to do a good job here of poking around this corner, but you are literally hoping you get like a speed onto somebody and have Saxon blow someone up, or you get Persona in a position where they can hit a headshot railgun and then Saxon follows up with a rocket. But with Chile, I mean, right at this moment in time, you're just playing off forms, playing off wall, and hoping to get Tizzy in a bad spot. Speaking of which, I mean, Wed's already got the rush. Rush round the corner. Now Burgess heavy swings. Eli does end up going down though. Tizzy with a nice little rock.
Nossa, eu tô vendo que eu vou sofrer pra matar alguns bosses.
LCS also goes down. I mean, that is an unbelievable spot from Tizzy that should have been punished.
Aquele que fica dando pesada no chão do caralho. Odeio matar aquele boss.
That's gonna get Argentina back on the board, and they have a fantastic win condition for this next fight. LCS cannot get up to that sound barrier, especially if Tizzy does this one early. You can combo it with
eu consegui fazer aquele co-streaming, sabe?
Como que é?
É só apertar um botão.
Aí tu transmite o que tá transmitindo em outro lugar?
O que tá passando é o que tá na minha tela mesmo. Tipo, eu tenho... co-streaming é só um status, não é como se ele fosse transmitir, entendeu?
Entendi.
Eu posso transmitir o que eu quiser e falar que eu tô com streaming.
Jumping around the corner, nice little grass there from Frag to keep him up. Sound barrier is actually perfectly timed there from Chile. Tizzy, I believe, missed that flux too. Saw the hand go up, but immediately went back to just firing his hypersteers. Going to try and force the issue on the point now. You're going to have to touch at some point because that checkpoint is very close. Latest sound barrier from Lep. This should be a fairly easy win now for Argentina as Frag is bowled over by Lep. And that rocket barrage, not even required by Saxon, so actually has it for the next fight as the point is capped.
Go ahead and get it. It was a bit of a rocky start, to say the least. Had to play your cards right, but
Mas tu tá transmitindo aí agora.
Essa tela eu transmito, eu mexo nessa.
Mas tá saindo som também daqui?
Sim.
Que
aparentemente, né? Eu não sei, tem que ver na live, mas eu acho que sim.
Vire uma narradora agora.
Tem muita coisa acontecendo, eu não consigo narrar não.
Deixa eu ver pelo meu celular.
Make sure that the strengths of both Persona and Saxon's heroes
Aqui,
are amplified and force Chile a bit more
Eu
into
não
their...
enxergo, tem muito gato na frente.
I mean, that's the problem, right?
And
Because they backed up all the way to the high ground, it's like, okay, well, but you have to find something. Oh my, what happened there to Saxon? Tried to go for something a little freaky, perhaps? Like, what was that? Just threw himself into the blender. Chile end up coming up with a big team kill there as they win the fight very quickly.
But they actually, it's like I think literally half a second that Argentina get those forward spawns by, if I'm not mistaken. So this fight can be taken a lot sooner and actually gives them an opportunity to stop this payload one more time. Soon they rush up for Wed, and you can already tell Chile looking for the right moment to use it, seeing only Tizzy committed into the space.
Nice use the rush there. Suzu into the rush right around the corner. You can have Suzu back up again in just a second. And you guarantee the cap as well, so... Pretty high value rush. Unfortunately, they don't get a pick, so maybe not the highest value they could have achieved there, but they put up on a good angle at the very least. Rock onto Frag, though, and a headshot follow-up from Persona. Easy game here. Should be a fairly trivial team fight.
E aí, tudo bem?
Without the tank there, easy enough for Argentina to go ahead and clean it up. Kind of giving up the forward spawns, but still managed to hold on to that lead as we're about halfway through our push map. It's so strange. The fights that Argentina manages to win are the ones that they don't end up committing anything to, or the ones they commit everything to. There's really no in-between for this team whatsoever, so...
Caramba, tudo isso? Ele falou, meu fim de semana durou 3 semanas, greve na faculdade.
Pô, vida boa.
Férias?
Queria.
Use the overclock first. Persona, wall thrown in their face to stop that, and their overclock's almost over at this point. Here comes the rush. They're really layering these ults really nice.
Em casa, além que todo mundo tá estudando.
Cut off where tried to teleport away from the rest of the team as LCS managed
to scoot out of there, but Frag going down.
Argentina running away with this map now.
Mas é o que essa graça? Eu não tô sabendo não, tô por dentro.
A sound barrier as well. Again, Chile need a better beat here. They need LCS to go last in this team fight, or they're just going to get full cap.
They do have the tools to shut us down. They're already going to commit Flux to that. Frag, he's no team with him.
What is my Chunga Sigma player? There's nothing there. The Flux hits, but there's no damage. Okay, well, Saxon has a barrage as well. I mean, Chile's still in a decent spot with a couple of ults, but with Bert going down, this is a very bad spot to be in. LCS gets blown up by the barrage. They couldn't even go for the beat. And if they did, they would have made Axe. When it goes down and a beat from Lep to secure the fight, 125 meters.
Não quer manter frequência nem nota.
There should be spawns coming in from Chile, but it's going to be close.
Honestly, LCS may need to sound barrier just to get to the.
You have to get me out of spawn. 100%. There it is. There's the beat. They still got this Blizzard and this OC available. Looks like a nice backup here from Argentina. Lep's 1 HP. Gets tagged down by LCS. So close, but honestly, ridiculously high value ults coming through from Argentina to get this far.
Eu não sei o que que é. O que eu vi era uma pessoa respondendo, aos pedidos. E a pessoa falava que concordava com os pedidos, exceto esse de ter que pagar os estudantes para poder ficar estudando sem ter nenhum, tipo, nada, nenhum requisito, né, de frequência ou nota. Mas o resto era tudo válido.
O ressarcimento da minha faculdade, mano.
Nossa, 52.
A Unicamp tem os programas de permanência que eles pagam bolsas para os estudantes para eles morarem na faculdade.
That's a really early overclock, but Lep still ends up falling over to a headshot. Pressure on the
indicação da minha é tirar as 10 horas semanais de trabalho para os estudantes.
The grasp available, but now it looks like Chile have managed to escape the wrath of Persona. Couple of missed shots there on the Jericho, in fact. Persona doesn't manage to connect with really anybody there. Red also goes pretty low as Team Argentina has just continued to hold on this corner. Both rushes are going to get popped as well. Eli needs to go with a big Blizzard in order to win this fight. Lep ends up getting chased out. Vrax in the backline already. Self-destructor in their hands. They try and tag down this Sigma, but Tizzy's way too high up in the sky. Self-destruct over the top, goes wide. Bot's been stolen as well by Argentina. As now Chile scramble. 999 died on the phone to try and get this bot back. They've literally stolen the bot. Guys, you have to move. You have to move.
Quer trabalhar em qualquer lugar ou tem que trabalhar tipo na faculdade?
A barrage getting eaten up mainly by
Essa prisão como eu dei esse mapa.
They've lost control of the ball and they got it over to checkpoint as well. So forward spawns available from Argentina.
Eu odeio
o
jogo.
A campanha inteira.
Little might be an understatement. That Argentina just got away with highway robbery there. Getting the forward spawns again, like that's gonna set them up for another fight. Tizzy Lep, Surreal.
They get it.
Oh, they didn't get it.
So
oh my
sad. That was like a pixel away.
Deixa eu ver o que eu tenho aqui.
Yeah, I mean, they're still in a pretty decent spot. I mean, Eli holding this Blizzard for the past 2-3 fights now, and now or never. This is gonna be the last real fight that you're going to end up getting in Chile. They want to take it slow. They want to set up this May. Get the value. It's so difficult on this open part of the map, especially playing into Persona's hands. It's kind of been the map of Persona so far.
Come on, Eli, here we go. Big Blizzard coming up, I can feel it. Instantly gets rocked, as I said that, unlucky. Persona goes pretty low, Frag gets the call. Sound barrier hits 5 there for Argentina. Blizzard gets popped as well, a nice little wall to try and segregate people. However, they are unlikely to find any picks now. Eli ends up going down, so no isolation can be thrown out towards Tizzy. Persona trying to find bodies here, trying to find headshots to hit with the railguns, but it's going to be all Tizzy at the moment. Lep's going to end up killing LCS, but again, a very split fight from both teams. Very scrappy, but it works in Argentina's favor, honestly. If you just trade 1-for-1 here, you're more than fine with that. 15 seconds to go now as Argentina. They end up getting the ball back into the middle of the map. Eli comes back on the tracer, smacks Surreal as well. Team Chile tried to hold on. They managed to get up a couple of kills here, but Tizzy is still alive somehow. And again, they're just trading just so unbelievably well. The sports are going to come in and they've got Flux.
Tizzy, one-man army there, stalling that out for Argentina and Chile. 2 fights, I think, that they're going to need to win to get the robot as far as it needs to go. And all eyes are on Bert right now. If this guy can land the shots, find this overclock, be the way to get Chile back into this map with so much of a lead that Argentina have, plus Persona coming back up with an overclock of their own. I've seen a lot
Porque assim, pensando 10 horas, 2 horas por dia de segunda a sexta. Isso é também muita coisa, viu?
Oh my goodness, he just gets dominated along with both the LCS and Wed Fall, and yeah, that's going to be map there.
Quando eu tava fazendo faculdade, eu fazia um EPBC. Tinha trabalho pra caralho também. E eu trabalhava de segunda a sexta, 8 horas por dia. Eu tinha que me virar. Se eu tivesse que trabalhar só 10 horas, eu tava dando graças a Deus.
Quantas horas por dia?
Não, 10 horas na semana, né?
Sim.
Between his presence on the Sigma, look at that, 23 and 4 throughout that game, matched with Persona. Those are the two players that really managed to stand out and get more, like those mechanical individual plays that we know that they have outside of the macro level.
Né?
And I think if Argentina are going to continue to keep this series close, this is the kind of gameplay we need to see from them.
He was farming the damage. 14k? That's like 5 over what Frack ended up having as well. I mean, it was just this point, or like these couple of fights here, were just the cherry on top. I mean, you're getting unbelievable picks. On top of that, you're only using like one ult at a time. Like the ult tracker there was so nice, just layering one after the next. You hit the barrage on people. You're hitting a big flux as well. And then Frack ended up whiffing their flux too. Like, or not whiffing. There was a connection on the Lucio, but there was no follow-up, so no kills could be had. It was, yeah, a little rough there from Chile on that one. But hey, it's all good. You can't have the cat band away again, so maybe you just end up rocking that one. But a different story compared to what happened previously in this series in the Conference Cup.
Yeah, I think it's the fresh start that Argentina needed. We know that they've been hitting the grindstone along with all the other Conference Cup teams since that tournament concluded, and the work really does show off.
Eles bufaram os lobos, mano.
Emphasis on that because Jetpack Cat will be back in the fray. And depending
sei lá, eu coloquei o lobo aqui, mano. Tô amassando os mobs só com o lobo.
If they take us back to a very Cat Bastion central map,
tô achando meio bizarro.
Talismã?
Não, o lobo de aura.
Você vai conseguir. Se organiza bem, planeja bem, você vai conseguir sim.
It's more of a longer range map there for
Não tenho a mínima ideia.
bands turn out to be, but I think that they want to focus more on this poke. And honestly, do you take away the Sigma here?
Is it? Yeah, I mean, Riato is good for Sig, right? But is it worth it? I mean, I guess the Mag has already been banned too. Like, I think you're fine taking away the Sigma, but if you just want to lean straight back into the Malga Cat Bastion, I mean, you could ban the Bastion in theory. If you're Argentina, but then Chile. Well, we picked Rialto. We banned first, so we just banned a DPS or something silly like that. They could. Would they ban first? They banned Pharah.
Depois chega lá no Overwatch.
I'd have to.
Aí chega ninguém
Yeah,
aqui.
so the Pharah, so they can't ban that again. I guess if they want to protect the Bastion.
É entre Chile e Argentina, tá? Que eu tenho que votar. Só pra você saber.
É só não votar, não.
I think Chile
Já votei agora.
fairly dominant in that Conference Cup when it came down to it, coming out first
Ih,
place.
vai ganhar punk.
Tem quantos pontos aí no Overwatch? Na live.
Não vi, não reparei, deixa eu ver. 69 mil pontos, eu votei tipo 10.
Caraca. Não, bota uns 50 mil.
Nem a pau.
E se você ganhar?
Eu vou fazer o que com esses pontos?
Não sei.
Nada.
Então ela aposta.
Mas não quero apostar no Chile, não. Vou apostar em outro.
Tá bom. Os pontos são seus. Boa sorte aí,
Eu
voltando
queria
no...
saber onde que fica, tipo, todos os jogos do Overwatch aqui. Tipo, o planejamento de todos os jogos.
Chile a little shell-shocked after that match. I think they were very confident heading into the series, didn't think they'd run into much trouble, so being in a position now where they have to pick a map is taking a bit longer than it might usually.
Banido bola e
Chile do end up
peste.
banning a DPS, so they do protect that. Bastion, and they ban Ash. Ash also has been played a little bit. So OWCS Tokyo again, we saw some Ash. We saw some insane like bobs coming out. Not even just Ash, it was the bob.
Gato tá roncando no meu colo já.
3k or something from a bob on Rialto. So you know what? Ash.
A Pen subiu aqui, aí o Rain logo em seguida tentou subir. Minhas pernas não estão aguentando 2 gatos, não.
Ah, vai fazer ele ficar com 4 gatos, cara. Que isso?
Cara, boa sorte pra ela.
fazer missão pra poder.
É só expulsar, igual eu faço.
See where this ends up playing out. Malga, Cat, Bastion, all available here for Chile. Should they just want to run it back? It seemed Argentina were very set on not mirroring that before.
Puxar a manivela aqui, né?
If they're put in the same situation again, will they change their mind or just take
a gente tá
another
vendo Argentina e Chile. Então o próximo jogo é Canadá versus Brasil.
Legal.
Então você chega a tempo.
Já bota no Canadá.
Eu vou apostar tudo no Canadá.
Porque o Brasil, como foca o tanque, é...
Sério, o Brasil jogando ontem... Não sei se você viu, Hot Wheels, o jogo do Brasil ontem, mas eu fiquei muito triste.
Coisa mais triste.
Vai continuar no fim de semana que vem.
Que pena.
E ainda vai ser qualifiers, então mesmo se o Brasil ganhar, ainda tem jogo no sábado que vem.
Que ele pode perder.
Okay. He's so determined not to play the cat bastion that we're seeing Lep on Life Weaver. I mean, this is a rare
É que o Brasil tá focado em outra Copa, tá ligado?
He's actually playing Life Weaver. If you're standing up to men like this and playing picks, I mean, look.
Eu já fiquei sabendo que o Neymar lá caiu, já vai ficar sei lá quantas semanas afastado.
O Neymar só joga na Copa se recuperar, senão nem isso joga.
Todo fudido, tropeça lá, tá morrendo já.
Eu saquei que é a Copa do Mundo porque eles começaram a falar de futebol, tá? Mas eu tava pensando, tem outro campeonato de Overwatch, eu pesquisando aqui. Tipo, não tô entendendo.
Decepcionante, tá vendo?
Ai, futebol, pra mim, whatever.
Tem uma arma que seja rara, única?
Nessa Copa, os jogos vão ser no horário de trabalho ou vai ser à noite?
Valiosa.
Acho que é à
noite.
Vai ser 3 países, né? Vai ser em torno de 3 ou pra cima ou pra baixo do nosso horário. Cara, ou ela é rara ou ela é única, cara. Não existe os...
Não, pô, se tem uma valiosa, uma arma única valiosa.
Vou saber, não sei o que os caras estão jogando.
Pô, deveria saber, cara.
Não.
Nem sei quando começa a Copa do Mundo. Eu acho que a Bel quer ração. Olha aqui, ó, eu já coloquei aqui, ó.
Ah, a Bel quer encher o saco. A cada 5 segundos ela tá passando aqui na minha frente.
Mais pra frente um pouco, cheira essa ração aí, ó. Essa, aqui, ó, eu acabei de colocar essa aqui nova.
Acho que
Não, ela achou. Se não me engano, no dia de jogo do Brasil, ponto facultativo. O dia, né?
Daí é vida fácil, né? Até na Copa do Mundo os caras vão ter feriado.
Falta o que aqui? Só achar o lugar. Esse mapa aqui da prisão também é ridículo como ele é grande.
Ai, cara, segura aqui, eu tô aqui matando a casaca boga aqui.
Segura aqui, matando essa casaca do caralho. Tá easy.
Meu, tá tendo muito Bastion gato. É só o que tem.
Que tá forte.
Isso é real. E daí eles acham que banem Cassidy, porque o Cassidy aparentemente é o melhor pra tirar isso daí.
Acho que ele consegue tirar o grude lá do gato, né? Com a bomba?
Não sei. Não sei se consegue não, mas ele acerta o tiro, né, e mata.
Eu falei acertar.
Se tivesse uma serra aí, não teria gato... Teria um gato no jogo.
Nossa, no dia que lançou, era Bastion, gato, Mercy, tudo grudado ali voando. Não precisava de resto do time, era só isso. A peça de matar o gato. Teve um jogo que eu vi que foi banido o Cassidy, que o gato e o Bastion só comeu o time inteiro. No outro time tinha um Reaper pra olhar de baixo no gato voando.
Well, that inspire healing. High ground control now in favor of Chile, but Argentina are trying to sneak it back by the looks of it. Persona does end up going down, and unfortunately, for Argentina's comp, the longer the fights go on, the better it is.
Eu não sei como dizer isso de uma forma mais agradável.
The Bastion forms.
Destruiu, esbagaçou.
O Reaper tentou atirar do chão para o céu, mas não foi efetivo.
Foi uma tentativa falha.
And we're gonna see a third swap now from Lep, and I think Tizzy
Fracassou.
going over to the Mauga not only helps contest the Bastion, but gives you a little more stability in that front line. They're just not
Uma
gonna
lógica levemente
no, dude,
incompreensível.
Saxon here. They are gonna go for a full fight on this, but Bert already in position.
I mean, it's a very decent amount of range there from Bert. I'm not sure how much damage this is actually doing to the Mauga, any meaningful damage. Saxon, post bomb. Here comes the ult from Bert, but it is Persona clicking heads. High Noon's going to get popped as well. That Bastion is hiding behind the little fountain over there, or the little shrubbery. Only a meter and a little bit to go here for Chile, but they've lost 2 players. They're only just spawning right now.
É ridículo o slow que eu tomo desses inimigos.
1 HP on this Cassidy. Surely now the
O mob fazendo rodinha punk a cada 2 passos, porra.
Caralho, o que aconteceu? Cuspi da água, caralho. Vou ter que beber agora.
Very minimal on the ultimate commitment.
Eles
Common
pilaram.
theme we're seeing.
Bom dia,
with this team,
Sr. Matheus.
least amount of resources as possible, and it's helping them.
Matthew.
Hard to chain these fights together is a hefty time bank still to work with. Thank you for Argentina. Need to go fast with Surreal's Kitsune Rush. You can
O
shut
gato
down.
escondido ali com o Bastion.
A very early rush again.
Hydro
Nice
pull
little lead onto the post bomb. Bert's already on the floor right now. Hasn't even got the ult here to try and repair himself, so a silver bullet will
Como o
finish him
senhor
off.
está? Tudo certo.
Ih, pegou.
No! Lev goes down to a remake kill. Tragedy for the back line there of Argentina. And a quick clean up with the Tracer. Team kill, and now they're going to push in.
Argentina está
Cat Bastion's
sofrendo.
not going to be good here, but it
Ainda
might
bem.
not matter, to be honest.
Para, ó lá.
Yeah, and you've snowballed so far into the spawn. Argentina backs up against the wall. Couple of ult
Ainda bem
points
que o
to
Chile
get
está
them up.
ganhando,
Maybe
porque
there's
você votou no
chance
Chile aí,
that
né?
the
Você tem que ganhar os
confidence they
pontinhos.
have
Exatamente.
push on through
Apenas
this
isso.
point.
Mandar um vídeo no
Seems to
Discord
be
muito bom de
unmatched.
bagulho
They're
que aconteceu
gonna give
comigo,
a little bit
beleza,
more
mano.
time though. Just to back off. Sees that cardiac overdrive already out from Tizzy.
Yeah, a lot of those shots getting eaten up, but Tizzy's in the worst spot imaginable.
É, por algum
Just in the
motivo
beginning
seu
of the rush
ódio é
hour, but
baixo, tá
so
tendo maior.
close to the Maga falling. They're going to try and charge onto the
quê?
Bastion, but he's got all that overhead.
O meu áudio tá muito baixo e o seu tá maior.
High Noon popped from Argentina.
Tá.
Eu sinto
Fairly
muito.
trivial fight now.
Eu diminui
Those
mais. Eu não
shots
sei por que
do
o meu
lose
microfone está tão baixo.
Sim, tá muito
And being
baixo
in
o
this last
microfone.
fight territory, yes, the weakest
É
part of the
alguma
map for
configuração
the Cat Bastion.
que ficou
And the fact
depois
that
que
Argentina just
eu...
have their ultimate economy coming up a bit sooner. So let's go back on over to that brig, and I think that
Eu não
would
sei
make
também
a
como
bit
tá o áudio
sense,
na
more
minha
sense if
live.
Eli and Frack stayed on the Diva Tracer, but no, they're gonna go front to back
A gente
as
tem que parar
well
um dia e ver isso aí.
with the Mauga Reaper. And you saw Lep instantly go back to Swan.
Quando você não
Swap backs,
tiver
like I am not
puxando.
dealing with those
Alô, alô,
types
alô.
of shenanigans. Argentina
Mas
though,
que vem,
gonna
então,
look to
só
throw Chile
fazendo
in
três
the
Tá
blender.
mais, tá mais alto o meu som
In the
agora.
cage on the corner. You like that? Team Chile are
Som,
stolen the bot,
som,
by the way.
som.
Nice little
Mudou
kill
alguma coisa?
there onto the cage, but they've stolen the bot, guys.
Aqui no
Guys, they've stolen the bot.
Discord mudou
Thoughts on this one? They've stolen the bot.
Ah,
Left
então
is
tá
back
bom.
on the point. There's
eu não
two
sei
players
Bem
there.
melhor,
Someone's gonna have to
então.
charge back in.
Ah,
Tracer,
fui
triple
eu
blade.
morri.
Saxon gets there. Post one connects
poderia ter
all to
pausado, né?
Action, but it doesn't matter.
segura aqui.
But
Achei
ends
o
up getting
vídeo, deixa eu
saved, and oh dearie me.
Ah, deixa eu mudar esse
Devastation in the
chat,
comms
deixa eu
for
colocar mais pro
Argentina there,
ladinho
as the Cat
aqui.
Bastion basically backcapped them.
Deixa eu colocar no outro ladinho que não tem nada. Que isso, cara?
Você aí, cara. Eu vou botar de ladinho.
Vixe.
Nice little bit of time in the time bank. 1 minute and
Deixa o baiano
23
escutar isso.
seconds.
Obrigada por
One
seguir.
thing you
Muito
don't think
bom.
of Cat Bastion for is contesting the payload. I'll give him that, but
Vai ter que fazer o
yeah,
ritual
I
de
think you're
novo.
really
essa
upset about
semana.
that if you're Saxon.
falaria
Could not have done
Obrigada,
more
mas...
in that fight. Got to
E
Elan, stuck the
aí,
pulse bomb, but
Matthew Souza,
everyone so split up. As you said, it just seems from a
Obrigada
macro
pela-
standpoint,
Que
pelo
isso,
tom.
Tadeu?
Argentina
Deus.
still struggling to get
Ah, eu
past
sei, mas-
this
É, que é o nick dele aqui da Twitch, é todo chique.
The signs have swapped
É
back
gringo,
around.
né?
É gringo.
No huge changes here for Chile, except they might stick
Ele também
Eli
está
on
jogando
the
Poi?
Reaper with the Diva, which is an interesting combo. I think this is just
Ou está
more
jogando
an
Overwatch?
extension of Dizzy playing
O Matheus?
that Mauga
É.
to start and hopefully just make sure he can't run at
Deve tá
Persona
jogando Poi.
free. That does make a bit more
Deve
sense
tá jogando
there.
Overwatch.
You just don't have to go to follow up as you would with
Tudo é
Frax
possível.
on their
Deve
Diva
estar na live
line,
do
so
Teteu.
that'll be
Pode não estar jogando nada, né?
them to play out, and it will
Também.
work well, at least on this
Ai,
first
gato é muito
part
chato,
of
sério. Eu não
round
sei esse
one.
personagem.
For
Eu
Argentina,
acho muito injusto ele
lot
poder
of
ficar
ground
voando
that
pra lá e
needs
pra
to be
cá, assim,
gained to make
livre.
up for this.
Quando ele
Persona,
quiser
a lot of good
acelerar,
picks there.
tipo,
Só
tchau.
porque a minha é
How can you break
Mercy.
past this barrier?
É, a Mercy não
Prevent this
pode.
Cat Bastion combo
Se
É, mas
fosse
nerfada.
Mercy.
All
Tem que nerfar a
this
Mercy. Ah, o gato tá
not
matando,
been able
nerfa a
to solve
Mercy.
so far, and
É,
still,
Mercy tá se movendo muito rápido no ar.
É,
Não
nossa,
pode.
a Sierra foi lançada, nerfa a Mercy.
Não, mas acertam um nerfzinho também, não tomam?
Não sei, não sinto ela nerfada ainda.
Eu tô trabalhando lá. Vou aí pra vocês pra ficar de fundo. Tá tranquilo então. Mas eu acho que você deveria jogar.
Pô, é muito triste.
Triste seus inimigos.
Exato.
Se teleportando em você com você tomando slow do mapa.
Rodinha punk a cada 2 segundos. Vamos lá de novo.
Morreu.
Não morri não. Vixe.
Pois é, ele tem alta cura, velocidade, voo infinito, hitbox pequeno.
Acho que ele deveria ter velocidade diminuída igual a Mercy. E a Mercy deveria cortar as asas dela.
Caralho.
O jogo deveria não deixar ninguém voar, mano. Tudo terrestre.
Aí também não.
É justo pra todo mundo.
Por exemplo, por que ele pode voar infinito e a Echo e a Para não?
Por que que
os propulsores dela é lixo e o dele não é?
Aí tem que falar pro engenheiro que fabricou as asas da Mercy.
Pois é, então. Não tá certo isso. Acho que já passou do tempo de todo mundo ter a mesma tecnologia de ponta, entendeu?
É que a Mercy é tipo uma galinha, né?
Caralho.
Ela só voa de vez em quando.
Falou.
Então a Fara é mais galinha.
Nossa, mas... Ô, gente, não tá legal essas conotações aqui, não.
Tem que transformar alguma delas em pinguim logo. Meu Deus do céu, Ren.
Credo. O tio falou. Mercy deveria ser cadeirante. Se nervasse a vida daquele gato, ficaria melhor. Sim. Coitada da Mercy. É tão legal jogar de Mercy. E a Mercy, tipo, ela tá voando, mas ela não tá... Ela em si não tá dando dano.
Então, boneco bosta.
Não aguento mais esse mapa horrível.
O gato consegue curar e atirar ao mesmo tempo.
Mapa que não tem fim.
Quer vir matar aqui a Zack Bog e ficar na vassoura 90% do tempo?
Reclama muito. Isso aí é tranquilo.
Mapear também, cara.
Mapear. É andar 5 km pra enfrentar um boss. Pra que tanto mapa?
Pra ter conteúdo, cara.
Pra ter conteúdo. Precisa. Já joguei outros 3 atos aqui, cheio de conteúdo. Qual a história por trás dessa prisão enorme aqui?
Você precisa ver a lore, né? Mas quem que vê lore é tipo o jogador de Overwatch.
Alguém fica assistindo o videozinho do Overwatch.
Tá zen, então.
Eu gosto. Acho a gameplay da Mercy tão sem sal. É meio parado mesmo.
Quem merece ser nerfado no Overwatch é a menina do drone. Impossível. Não, essa daí é mais de boa.
Tem que ser nerfado mesmo, tá muito forte.
Não. Eu acho bem justo.
Você acha justo porque você joga com ela.
Sim, eu adoro jogar com ela. Personagem mais forte.
Quem tem que voar o Yang.
Correto.
O Yang no jogo normal ele ainda é ok, mas no estádio ele é...
Quem?
O Yang no estádio é muito chato de matar.
Exato. Deveria fazer isso normal dele.
Gonna let this one push to the corner with Frack now swapping back over to that Melga. Wanting to play more of a front to back.
Alright, Wedge. Do not die first challenge.
Foi tão fácil matar esse aqui de monge. Não tinha mecânica alguma. Era só bater.
Volta pro monge então, cara.
Não, monge é uma bosta.
Cajuns are coming down, but unfortunately Frack just jumps straight in and ends up killing Tizzy. It was a cage fight for Argentina, but they were unable to come out on top.
Go ahead and take it. I mean, whatever's going on between
A Serra já tá bem balanceada. Acho que tem que nerfar outros personagens aí.
Almost every ult onto him, but for Argentina, this payload still moving forwards a little.
Verdade, tiro na cabeça dela dá muito dano. Qual a necessidade de um healer dar tanto dano?
Mas tem que saber mirar, entendeu? Existe uma dificuldade aí. Eu acho que tem que manter como está.
O hitbox dela é bugado.
É
Você
verdade.
mira, você pega a tela inteira e acerta, mano.
Não é verdade isso, não.
Pois é só porque você joga com isso. Você fala isso.
Não é. Fora que se você tá atirando no inimigo, quer dizer que você não está curando. Então você tem que fazer uma escolha aí. Seu time tem que não estar
Mentira.
curando.
Se você jogar uma granada, você vai estar curando e dando dano.
A granada vai só aumentar um pouco a cura ali, mas ela não cura tanto. Exceto no estádio, no estádio cura bastante.
Fudido.
Nerf engage, exato, tem que nerfar alguém.
O que esse círculo faz? Da slow.
Porra, Teteu. 4 seasons de curso aí, mano.
Eu nunca cheguei nessa mecânica.
Caralho.
Eu nunca pensei em passar por isso.
Finalmente, né? Tá tendo um desafio nesse jogo.
Desafio aqui, cara. Aí bote com escape daqueles, ela bota o soldado no chinelo. Sim, isso que é bom. Ela, quando ela acerta a automira dela, ela consegue matar o Bastion virado na torretinha.
Quem?
A serra. Se os dois se atirando, ela ganha do Bastion.
Não acho certo isso, não tá certo.
Por isso que é legal.
Esse Gato tem muita vida. Eu não sei a Vendetta, porque faz tempo que eu acho que eu não jogo contra a Vendetta no normal. Mas ela também tava muito... Eu acho que ela tinha muita armadura. Tava muito difícil de matar ela. Mas eu lembro que eles mexeram um pouco nela, então eu não sei se ficou melhor.
Being able to have this level of trust and communication does show up, and
A única build que presta da Vendetta é no estádio. Build de poder e habilidade.
They will always win those 1v1s unless there is some massive mistake that comes in from them, which was the couple fights that Argentina won.
Aquela build é legal. Se eu consigo jogar e eu não jogo de Vendetta, é porque a build é boa. A build carrega.
É uma build muito tranquila.
Disse a que joga de Soldier e não erra um HS.
Verdade.
Foi um nerf indireto.
Yeah, like I said before, I gotta respect Let big time for not succumbing to the Cat Bastion, but it is just such a good comp right now.
Mas talvez impactou, porque não tem muita gente jogando com Vendetta agora, né? Aqui todo mundo tá querendo jogar de Serra também, né? Não é nem tanto de tipo, tá bom ou tá ruim, que a Serra tá muito forte.
Não, mas o Genji é difícil mesmo de jogar. Eu não consigo também.
Eu também não sei jogar de Genji não, só sei morrer pra Genji.
There weren't many, if at all, any players that managed to reach the highest heights. It was dominated for a long time by
ia comprar molho.
The likes of San Francisco Shock, etc. And we are eventually seeing, you know, South America
vai ter que comer
again and show actually we can live up
sal, manteiga e
some
sal.
of the greats in the world. I think Saudi Arabia was the big team in the last World Cup, right? That was like, wow, these players are insane. Like, even a lot of the Korean players were like, damn, Saudi is on another level right now. So I'm kind of hoping it's the same thing for South America too, where there's
tem restinho de gelatina ali.
Verdade, ainda tem gelatina.
A gente pode comer suco.
Comer suco. Ai, a gente não fez o suco.
Exatamente.
Suco é fazer já.
Acho que fiz o pior mapa do jogo. Do ato 4. Agora é tranquilo. Gelatina no almoço. Deixa eu mandar um pix pra vocês. Relaxa. Mas a gente não vai reclamar.
Fim do mês é cruel, 20 gatos pra cuidar. Mas os gatos têm comida, tá? Vocês podem ficar tranquilo. Tem comida e areia limpa.
A gente pode comer a ração dos gatos.
A gente pode comer, tem bastante ração.
Tem bastante. Ai, ai.
Question mark of a team of how far can they actually go? Do they have that upset potential? And this first match against Argentina, I think, is really showcasing.
Ração dos gatos. Não, mas a ração é do quê? É de frango, não é? Dá
não,
pra
mas
juntar.
Tem até sachê, tem até a pastinha ainda.
Verdade, tem pastinha é gostoso.
Eu acho que é sabor carne.
Aí, ó, dá pra juntar no macarrão. Tem um mapa e um boss aqui.
O cheiro das pastinhas é tão gostoso, né? Mas o gosto deixa a desejar.
Eu nunca experimentei, ainda bem.
Eu já comi, porque eu fiquei com muita vontade.
Eu já vi uns caras que E faz academia e come isso. Come o sachêzinho. Não sei se...
É proteína? Não sei.
Gente, que aniquilação social é essa?
Esses gatos comem melhor que eu. Eles comendo coisinha sabor frango, carne e eu pegando frango com verme no RU da faculdade.
Ai, que nojo. Falando em frango com verme, a gente tá vendo as cores dos frangos esses dias.
Ah, é o Instagram post falando da cor do frango.
É. Quando o frango tá fresco, quando ele tá ok e quando tá estragado ali.
A gente só come estragado.
É, o que a gente compra já vem estragado, aparentemente.
É, a cor, a gente nunca viu um frango cor de rosa. É sempre uma cor assim apagada.
Sim.
Credo, mas tinha verme no frango mesmo? É de verdade isso? Quando eu fazia faculdade, o restaurante era bom. Eu adorava comer na faculdade. Só tinha uma fila enorme, né? Mas a comida era boa. Sim, tinha larva. Ai, que nojo. Ai, credo. O restaurante é privatizado.
Mas assim, se tá no frango, é frango, né? Só comeu frango também?
Não entendi o que você tá falando.
A larva nasceu no frango, só comeu o frango, então é parte do frango.
Ah, entendi. Tipo, a larva é saudável comer porque ela se alimenta de frango.
Sim, só comeu o frango.
I'm
peguei
so
os
happy we're seeing a little bit more Mizuki. I don't think we're going to see it this series unless we get to Kings, but it's such a sick hero to watch, especially with the ult. I think this Sanctuary is just such an insane ability on like corners, and if you're like jumping into a team fight and you hit the Sanctuary, it can be really hard to fight into, so unfortunately we're not going to see it here, but New York City is the map, and a lot more poke coming in, I believe.
Isso, ok. Tem vão aí.
I think it's another pick we can see on this map. If you want to play more
Já
of
tem
that
isso aqui,
role
já
style.
tenho.
Otherwise, I think you're leaning into that Cassidy for Persona. They've been pretty locked on that, even if it is a bit
Como
of a risky
odeio esses inimigos cheios de buff do caralho.
It is the last chance here for Argentina to show us
Deixa eu
what they
ver.
got.
Sim, assim com salmonela, está no peixe.
It is again the first game
Exato,
of
saudável.
both of these teams in the Americas Online qualifier. So loss
Tranquilo.
here isn't the end of the world, but certainly
Sai de mim.
not the message you would like to be sending.
Não, eu vou abandonar esses inimigos.
Look at these teams so far. I think
Não é legal.
Team Chile, you're okay
É,
with this.
muito ridículo o dano.
Why not? It's worked so well. Lep will attest to that. The same goes for Frack. They want to play this very frontline
Eu tô
heavy
quase
map. They
matando.
were almost expecting Tizzy to pull through on the Sigma, which again, far and away his strongest pick of the day. But it is going to depend. Are they going to run away? Are they going to have a way to fight against this, especially on this arena point? You're up close and personal.
É foda.
Eu achei que eles iam de Symmetra, mas os dois trocaram. Fara e Reaper.
Symmetra não foi nerfada? Será que é um patch anterior? Ok, né?
Não, acho que ela não foi nerfada não.
Achei que tinha sido.
Aquele negócio do teleporte dela, de restaurar o escudo dela ainda.
Não. Mas não é... Acho bizarro essa skill, não é... Tu não tem que estar a tantos metros do teleporte?
Sim.
Eu nunca usei isso. Pra mim não faz sentido. Se eu uso um teleporte, eu vou ficar perto dele.
Mas você fica perto dele, porque normalmente você usa ele pra, tipo, daivar, aí você bate neles e já usa ele pra voltar, entendeu? E enquanto você tá batendo, ele vai te dando um pouco de escudo pra você não morrer na hora, entendeu?
Eu não entendo
por que você vai morrer, cara, relaxa.
Acho que eu não entendo como essa skill funciona, por isso eu nunca usei.
Mas você nem joga com ela?
Já joguei.
Ele já jogou até bastante. Parabéns pra ele. Aniversário do pai do Hot Wheels hoje.
Boa.
74 anos.
Caramba.
Nível alto.
Flux is going to connect with the Bastion, and it needs to kill. I mean, Flux is like that guarantee one, especially with the Cassie and the Vara. So, you know, Argentina. Okay, let's go. Put some respect on their name, especially Tizzy.
Okay.
I'm loving the
Tizzy just making sure the respect.
Look, I drop it on him.
O
Look,
mapa
you
do
beat us
caralho.
last time with 3-0, drop on him. 100%. Every kill you get,
Não sei, eu acho que quando é seu
I
aniversário,
mean, honestly, that
Matheus.
should get them the point, unless Chile scramble
Deixa eu ver
for
se eu
it, then
sei
the
ou não.
LCS do the
Não, não
objective
sei.
up to now. Seems that they're playing pretty far
Ela foi
back.
consultar o calendário dela.
É, eu anoto o aniversário das pessoas.
Eu sei, você é meio doido.
Yeah,
Brincadeira.
Hainu's gonna be so tough to walk into. Trace should
Porque
get
se não dá
another
parabéns no dia
rejoin
e
in
as
contested
amizades ficam
currently.
tristes
Actually, in
depois.
fact, half the point has been capped already by Eli.
foda.
Both rushes.
Esses
Now
caras
Boss
aí.
trying to play on it, try and get form back ASAP. Just unlocked it. Has got the ult too, as Chile do find a flip. Wed finishes off Persona with a nice kunai headshot, but this will be Argentina having to go again.
Yeah, Argentina end up
Vixe, o cara tá
letting that
passando
one slip
fome
through the
na
cracks there.
víbora.
Great touch from Eli, and
Infelizmente,
they
se eu
don't
for
have
lá.
anybody on Argentina to
Ah,
stay on the
você vai lá
point
fazer o
for
quê,
long
cara?
term, and
Não, eu ia
it's
falar
going to
que
be
se eu
tricky
fosse lá, eu ia
because
passar
City
fome
does
com ele.
not like getting up close and personal with
Ah,
Zach,
bom.
who
Eu não tô
has his
forte, não.
annihilation. I mean, huge
Porque senão eu ia
win
falar que você ia me
on
ajudar
the
aqui
board,
também,
unless
cara. E
Saxon,
aí?
like, blows up LCS instantly for some reason. Chile feeling great about taking a fast push into this Sigma comp.
Those beats can have lovely times in. LCS ideally for someone to use his early on, but oh my goodness, maybe a little bit quicker required from LCS.
Caralho, o Rune of
Saxon
Prism dá
with a barrage
20%.
for two. And that is how you want to
Mas
see fight right there.
maximum
Soundbar from
limite
LCS, a little bit too late.
limite.
You need a better beat, but that beat required maybe 2 seconds earlier.
Yeah, I think it was more of a I'm gonna wait and see until this flux comes out kind of deal, but didn't
Exactly.
really have the time to think about that.
Cara,
Seeing
isso
the
daqui
matching
é
sound
muito
barrier from the
quebrado.
other side, but Chile
Eu
just
quero
didn't
isso
have the
daqui.
LCS go back
Vai ser
over
de
to the
defesa.
cat, so they will be pulling it out here on New Junk City after all. I believe
Acho que eu achei o caminho pro boss,
Dust
finalmente.
next, yes we are. A little bit more verticality that you can mess around with, just not
Vai
a
que
ton
vai,
of
irmão.
cover in this actual objective
Ou se
area.
durasse isso daqui até eu chegar no boss, seria ótimo.
Around it, but if Persona's already dead, the main threat is gone, and Bird is happy to just chill on a flank by himself.
I'm sorry, did LCS like aerial drop Eli into the backline? Like what was... I mean, the cat got the assist. That would have been kind of funny. But, I mean, that's an easy point cap now without a DPS like that.
Eu não
I mean,
sei
the
mais
cat
jogar de
bash,
maguinho, velho. Muito
on the
triste
first point,
isso.
it sucks. Let's be real.
Vocês estão
I'll
jogando
put it
com o
in
mesmo
plain English for you,
personagem?
it blows.
Mesmo tipo
But
de
this point,
personagem?
you know, not too bad. Getting up from high to
Não,
low,
não.
high to
É
low, and
druida
then
Não.
que
catching them on the rotations is
O Alan tá de
really
druida
nice.
com uma build esquisita lá e eu tô
Very
de
happy about this if you're chilling.
Tempesta.
How do you push
Com a
this
outra
into
build
Argentina?
esquisita lá.
You need another Tizzy to
Spark,
get Flux
build de meta.
showcase here, but Bird
Ele é esquisito.
Flux, maybe, from Tizzy? He's looking for somebody. You gotta hit it at some point.
Não.
Oh, I didn't miss. Okay, well, unfortunate. A
Também
little dunk around the
pensei
corner
isso.
there from Fractors and putting him in a bad spot.
O
though. It's
cara
not
jogou
from
50
Wed, and he's the
exaltados
rush as
no
well.
bolo
In
da
fact, actually,
guilda.
hang on a sec. Was that rush jacks? It might have been. Don't
Ele
see
quitou?
the Tory gates on the floor.
Oi?
Left kills
Ele
Eli
quitou?
eventually there, but still.
Não, ele jogou
on
e agora tá, ele
58%
tá
counting
pedindo de
out, on the
volta.
points.
Falou que colocou sem querer.
Oh, there goes the cat bash.
É, uma pena.
It's like red and brown. Yeah, no, not really gonna mess with that. And Chile, 71% about one fight territory for them, and yeah,
Cara,
you're
tá
pretty
começando,
okay with that.
Teteu, tá
You're
começando a
going to be
ser
hitting the
desenhada
goal
aqui,
in this
cara.
next fight. Lep having an
Na minha
unmatched
build.
sound barrier after the LCS swap. Will
É,
be
aí,
difficult to play into.
se eu conseguisse
Basically gives
espaço
Argentina
pra
a second
falar,
life
se não tivesse
in a lot of
inimigo
these
pra dar
fights, and Chile, kind of
uma
toying
esquina
to going
aqui.
this high ground and this low ground to see what they can find.
Eu ia falar que tava pago há 50 semanas, porque agora eles estão cobrando um exaltado por semana pra ficar no
An extra
no
overhead,
clã.
stopping that delay, instantly killing him. Sound barrier ends up coming through from Lev. It ends up hitting 5-2, so Team Argentina are in a good stead. However, Chile sneak away the point regardless. Saxon killing Wed is a good start, though, to try to stabilize here for Team Argentina, but they're going to need to touch. High ground position here from Persona. He ends up running forward, but straight into Frack, who ends up pushing him off that high ground. LCS still
Okay,
now with an aerial position, ends up slamming into the ground there, but Eli ends up going down. Team Chile now have to back off. 95% though, that's a one
Se o
fight,
gato ele
one flip.
mergulha no
Will
chão, mesmo que ele não
secure the
pegue
point
alguém, ele
realistically
stuna
here for
ali
them.
quem tá ali.
Yeah, when
Ou ele só
Argentina
stuna
are
se
all
ele
grouped up
pega
holding hands
alguém.
like that, there's not much that Team Chile
Você
can actually
pega.
do to pull them apart, especially
Eu acho
without
que
Eli.
se ele não pega, ele dá só um knockbackzinho só.
Kitsune rush here for Surreal is going to be huge in getting the team to the fight.
High noon.
Oh,
Oh, taken down by Frag, but Tizzy, as always, comes up with the goods here for Argentina. A double kill from the Sigma.
Porque teve uma vez que eu tava jogando, eu não sei se é alguma perk, mas eu fui stunada pelo gato, mas eu não fui levada por ele.
Argentina, man, I
Eu
mean,
só fiquei no,
Tizzy
tipo,
might
com
just
a
be the biggest
parada
raid
ali.
boss of all time on the Sig. Like,
Eu?
it's kind of
Meu
insane.
Deus, velho,
Argentina
o
now
que tá
up 2 points.
acontecendo?
Sigma, borderline underrated, I think, when it comes to strength and more of these rally competitions. Very good into the bastion, good amount of survivability, can help the team, and it's Argentina on match point. Believe it or not, very good chance at taking this series all the way to the Viper. They gotta get to the next point first.
Ele tá caindo já de segurar o gato no colo ali.
Ontem essa área se pendurou na perna da Zemi.
Poking in and out, seeing what they
soltar.
can find, forcing Argentina's resources early. Does mean, I think Argentina still
do
gets
caralho, agora
first.
você
We'll have
morre.
the sound barrier to work with, which you're really going to need how fast Chile are pushing, but Bert eventually breaks through the door.
Mas é comum os gatos se
It's
pendurarem
just so good on this point. One of the more open points, if not the
Às vezes
most open one.
se eu deixo o meu braço
You know the cat bash
só
is gonna
solto
win
aqui
here.
do lado
Like
da cadeira, a Zarya
100
ela se
times out of
pendura também.
100. You
Ela
have
gruda
5 ults from Chile as
pra
well.
morder e ela parece, sabe aqueles cachorros, sabe quando aquelas pessoas que põem aquele espuma no braço e o cachorro fica mordendo?
Please give me the refinery so we can play inside. We don't have to worry about the cat bastion, but not so fortunate. Chile though, very happy with this, and they have basically all 5 shiny buttons to be able to press on this next point, and being close to a cliff. LCS definitely licking his lips right about now, seeing if he can drop anybody off the cliff here.
Não.
And we'll see how this is actually engaged. Lep, potential for a tempo beat, but how Sound Barrier was nerfed.
Qual que é a maior
It's
gata
definitely less
aqui em
than
casa? É a
optimal
Nami, né?
strategy for this objective.
É.
Lep's looking to not Ajax
Que a
this
Nami é a
fight.
maior
B comes in,
gata
but
e o maior
Persona's
gato
already
agora
dead. Wow, that
é o
was
Pix.
mere frames away from saving Persona's
Ou preto e
life.
branco, não sei.
And now the rush is on
Qual dos
point
dois
as
é
well,
maior.
so fighting into this, if you're Argentina, it really sucks. You needed like 1 kill straight off the sound barrier. There's a
Tá
quick clip
gordona
there
com
from
as tetas
Argentina,
de
but they only
fora,
garner
né?
like 16% or so. This is an unwinnable fight now. I've got to be
esse
honest,
jogo
if you're
nesse jogo não
Argentina.
é
Dizzy can
family
only do
friendly.
so much. A nice little steal as well.
gato tomou
Ended
pedrada.
up beating LCS, but I mean, but ends up surviving. They can grab the Bastion again, put him up into the sky. Flux ends up hitting too, maybe, but Persona with the high noon. Yep, there's the Flux. Does connect with 2 players, but unfortunately that self-destruct is going to stop Tizzy from focusing the
Nossa, ela
cat
quer colo
Bastion
não.
down.
Ela tá muito agitada pra ter colo.
Replay there from Frack, but in Chile
também.
already so far.
tá
Hitting
agora ela
this
vai
point.
ter.
Wait a minute, Saxon
Boa
left,
sorte,
coming up
Gal.
with 2.
Yeah, TP is going to be really nice for the Kiriko, but chased down by Bert. The verticality just way too strong for the cat Bastion there, following Surreal's
Obrigada.
every movement. Tizzy falls, and that was a
confio demais.
like a 4v3 there coming through for Chile. And that'll be the point. Okay, reverse sweep on New Junk City. Is potential.
It is, and you're lucky. It is bomb flats, so you're still outdoors. Refinery is that scary point. If you are Team Chile, looking to avoid that for a little longer, but did end up investing quite a bit in that last engagement, so won't really have much of anything to work with, at least other than a pulse bomb in this upcoming engagement.
Você já tá
Rack, once getting the
começando a
backline, look how much
causar.
damage he's doing.
Yeah, nice little nade too.
Eu acho que
Surreal was
em
way
mapas
too far
piores.
forward there, sadly. Tried to push out
tem,
with Sigma,
mano.
but nice little
Esse é o mapa do sino, velho.
Não lembro.
Não lembra que cai cogumelo a cada 2 passos e fica apitando no seu ouvido?
Ah, tá, mas eles tiraram isso.
Tiraram nada.
Eu não vi mais nenhum negócio.
Eu tô escutando aqui.
Nossa, olha que club bom esse daqui. Tem 50 abas para doação de item e só tem uma aba com itens.
Fighting into this one pretty bare now, as they actually just forego the point as Argentina get the cap and force Chile all the way back.
Without Frack here, you don't really want to stick around too long, as that got dicey. When the TP, but dropped just before the little door there. Dizzy on this point, under pressure. Catnap.
Teve um Sigma mais cedo que foi muito quebrado, mano. Eu não lembro de quem ele era,
The
não.
pulse bomb connects with Bert too. An even better one from Eli. Finally, the raid boss falls. There was an opportunity there, I think, for Argentina to come up with a big flux play, but Chile just found the picks, like individual ones. Even with Bert dead, like Eli kind of solo carried that.
Yeah, for sure. And the pulse bomb, and especially having a tracer and a Kitsune rush, that is that terrifying. Work with Saxton wanted nothing to do with that. I think that really even could have been done. In Argentina, looking at this Gravitic Flux to see if you can just get one. You did it early on just the D.Va before, so hopefully we'll find a squishier target this time around. Is this split approach from Argentina. You see the Cat Bastion overhead.
Flux is going to have to go giant. They have to use the Flux or the Rush. Don't use both at the same time. There's the turret mode. As soon as that Rush gets used, as Burt finds an off angle with the help of the Cat, they've been able to transition to the point fairly well, though. No casualties, a little bit of damage, but that's about it. Both Tracer's dead. 4v4 on the point as Argentina get the flip. The Flux now being used. Can they actually catch somebody? Wed caught up, and he's trying to get the head slam as well. Wed ends up going down to that Flux. Bastion up in the air again from the help with the Cat, but Chile have lost all semblance of control in this fight. Tizzy chases down this Diva, and this is final touch territory. Frack has to get out alive. You cannot lose back, otherwise you will lose the point.
You need to buy time for Wed to get back, and more importantly, make sure you can get a touch.
There is going to be a touch here from Eli, I would imagine. Yes, the Tracer is on the point, but the point is completely left alone here. So there could be a complete flip. Both Tracers now in an honorable 1v1 as Burt across the map kills two. I mean, this is Chile coming back in a big way. Nice little cap there as well. Eli goes down, but the job's already done as Burt is swung in like a little Christmas ornament and delivers a gift under the tree. That's 4 kills for Burt. And that is a point for Chile. 2-2 on New Junction.
Reverse sweep potential here for Chile. Want to close out the series in 4, but this is kind of where things get a little dicey. Refinery definitely the weakest point for this Cat Bastion. You are not careful. Very low ceilings, minimal high ground for you to go bouncing between. You do get to the point first, so that will help with some of the setup, but there's so much easier for Argentina to fight you front to back. And that's why we see Tizzy swap to the Mauga with the Deadeye early.
We're so back.
É legal também quando você tá de ano e você dá uma ult numa diva e ela joga bomba.
Extra sustain too on the. Wait!
Tipo,
Whoa, Frack. Whoa, wait a second here. Sax's pole bomb ends up killing Burt. Chove. Frack gets the 2-player self-destruct on the DPS. A Tracer as well. I mean, that is insane. Lev ends up using the rally too, but it's like, well, we can't really push it, and there's 3 of us, and it's only Mauga for damage. That is unbelievable scenes from Frack.
Yeah, found the angle. Very rare we see that much value out of self-destruct these days, but found it there and...
Oh, nice Tizzy.
Yeah, still gets Tizzy.
Yeah, all right, Tizzy ends up going down. Sure, they trade for the Tracer, but... Wow, Chile. Man, Cat Bastion doesn't work. It's all good. We have a deep self-destruct that kills 2 every fight. We're chilling.
I think Frack just smells blood in the water. They're like, you know, we can win this. 1 more point away. Honestly, 1 more fight away by the time Argentina managed to regroup and... Very doable. All you have to do is get through this Kitsune rush of Surreal. Let back over to Lucio. What could be final lap here. We'll see this Cat Bastion set up, waiting for Team Argentina to peek on in.
Será que o Baiano chega hoje? De viagem?
Mortar barrage on the point has actually been sniffed out by Tizzy. Self-destruct dragged in. What a Suzu from Surreal. Keeps himself alive. Making sure stays up, gets it the teleport away.
Qual o sentido dessa gordona, cara? Uau, para quieta.
Slam down on the point. Saxton with 2. That should be it. I think that a 3rd actually from the Tracer. Expensive fight though. That Cat bomb didn't end up working out sadly. I would imagine that's what happened in that last fight. We didn't actually get the POV from LCS there, so you know the Frack self-destruct. Really, it was all LCS, but nice flip from Argentina.
Suddenly it makes a lot more sense how that was going, and just like Chile realizing, you know what? Trying to push this in with Diva Tracer will be a bit tricky, so opt to match this Mauga and have Eli just flat out win that frontline battle. It's going to be huge, and you're really looking at Saxton to not only stick a pulse bomb, but put pressure onto this backline as much as possible, deny the space as the Tracer does, because you cannot afford to lose a fight.
We didn't see that. We didn't see that, Saxton, don't worry. Tried to get the hot blink into the window. I knew he was going to buy some time. The zone's going to have to back up this, yeah. You cannot fight face up against this team. Nice little flank here from Saxton. Has got pulse bomb still. Both Maugas kind of shooting each other now. They're very early Suzu. This is go time for Frack. Just jump straight into the back. I mean, that Suzu was just so early. I mean, Surreal, I think, lost in that fight entirely there, and potentially the map of the series too. Sound barrier comes in from Lep, ends up hitting 3, but Tizzy is just so damn low. Saxton needs to come up with the goods. Wed ends up falling short, but still Frack, LCS, and Eli on the point, and they have the Cat too. Saxton looking for the kill onto the Reaper. Actually ends up getting it too with a back stab with the melee. There's going to be another rush on the point, but LCS now needs to be focused. Saxton needs to come up with another. Chases down LCS, but Frack and LCS have already come up with kills. And the meteor strike, not the meteor strike, the mortar strike from the spawn ends up killing Lev. Saxon literally cannot do more on this point now for Argentina. He needs more. But Suzu and the heal from Wed. It shouldn't be too long before Saxon is chased down. That's got a recall either now either. There's the cage, there's the point, there's the series. Chile with a 3-1 overall against Argentina.
Boa.
At the end of the day,
Ganhou mais quantos pontinhos?
Como eu sei quantos pontinhos eu ganhei?
Ele mostra no lado. Ou embaixo. Tem que ver quando a aposta vai acabar.
Meu Deus do céu, a Bel tava desse lado, de repente ela surge vindo de lá, do outro lado, pro mesmo lado. Agora ela tá voltando pro outro lado.
See those existing synergies, they need to shine through with their team, and I think it's going to be their strongest point, and it's often a weakness, right? With a lot of the World Cup rosters that we see, is just how little time that they have to practice together.
Tem que ver quando a aposta acabar.
But a complete opposite for Team Chile. They clearly made the most of it here today, even if Argentina made them work for it.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Yeah, I think that's your point as well. Like, the amount of time you actually get to practice can be very limited
Acho que já deve ter
for
acabado.
teams. Obviously, everybody's schedules are very different. A lot of players still in school, for example.
Perca Argentina.
So it can be kind of tough, but, you know, Chile, some respect on their name. Look, at the end of the day, I think Americas especially has been dominated
Você não ia apostar nos Estados Unidos?
both USA and Canada for so long.
Canada.
Brazil has been almost inching their way up there, just a little bit, trying to like compete on like a global stage.
Eu torço pro Brasil, mas
I think
infelizmente não acho que
Chile,
ele ganha, não.
they've got a little bit of business to him. I'm excited to see how they end up getting. Oh, there's the self-destruct. Okay, it was like straight over the top. That was really nice. But I think they've got a lot of potential in their bones. So we'll see how they end up doing later in on the groups. Obviously, it's a round robin too, so a little bit more brutal when it comes down to things. Looks like we should be getting an interview in just a moment as well with Wed. But yeah, not bad so far. The Cavashin, clearly their favorite comp, clearly the best comp right now, at least in the World Cup.
Yeah, and I'd be curious what would happen when Chile meet a team that either wants to mirror it or has a bit of a better answer to it. I think that was something that was consistently the weakness of Argentina throughout the day today. You couldn't hold a torch, and the few times they did end up winning those fights was when somebody on Chile just completely dropped the pasta, to be totally frank. And yeah, it kind of just started from this map of Ilios. Bert was running the lobby, and yeah, kept seeing it with these artillery strikes. So I think Team Chile going on ahead. Still some kinks to work out without the Cat Bastion. They do look noticeably weaker in that regard, but if they can continue to play their comps, if they continue to kind of work out those kinks, definite chance, because they don't play again until next weekend. We'll have the week to both review the footage of the teams they will be playing against and prepare accordingly.
Ai, Templo do Sol,
we got the
cara.
Lep,
Que agonia.
Thank goodness. I think this map was a little rough for Lep, and in fact, the entire team. I will say Tizzy was a big standout for Team Argentina. I think came up with some mad numbers, I think, with all the maps combined. So yeah, Tizzy player to watch out.
O Templo do Sol, né?
Like I said, in just a moment, we'll get into a brief interview with Wed, and we can see how they're feeling too. In fact, we're going to go to it right now. Wed, welcome on in. Chile, they look pretty good. I won't lie. Argentina kind of fallen over there, although it was a little bit closer. Like, did the rematch play anything into this? Were you nervous going in?
I was definitely like a little bit nervous, especially because I'm like a breakthrough player. I'm from Costa Rica. I'm not from Chile. So in the conference cup, we lost versus them. So I was like, well, maybe we gotta like watch out them like a little bit and like actually prepare. And that's what we did. And at the end, like, all of my teammates there were like just not nervous at all. So Team Diff, not gonna lie.
Team Diff, yeah. Dude, I saw the bag in. I saw every single time you were getting kills on players like Lab, you were hitting the bag. Everybody was having a little bit of fun, it feels like. How do you feel your chances? Go on. No, go on.
No, it's because like for me it was like hard because I'm currently in Costa Rica and I'm in 200 ping. So at the end I was like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm in 200 ping. So it was. You played in the past. It was hard. It was hard. I was playing the past.
I can believe it. And I think, too, with, you said you were playing on Team Costa Rica before this, you didn't have as much time to integrate into this roster. And I'm curious what that has been like for you, jumping into a team like, yes, you know some of them from the Face It League 9Z roster, but what has that been like within the last couple weeks, kind of jumping in to a new roster after preparing differently for the conference cups?
Well, for me, like the change was honestly quite easy, I'll say, especially because like the 9C and like I know like all of them, like I knew all of them from like a while ago, so it was honestly pretty easy. We didn't have like a lot of problems. I think the only problem that we had is like they usually comment in Spanish, and I cannot comment Spanish. I can only comment English pretty much. So that was like the only problem we had at the beginning, but like at the end I got like good at commenting Spanish. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a crazy hard thing to do if you're used to commenting in one language and flip into the other. I mean, look, hey, not many people in the world can speak 2 languages. You know, most people can barely speak one. So
Manos Magma.
Respect from your side. Yeah. I did want to know what the vibe is like in the team right now. Obviously, Overwatch World Cup is back, and being able to prove that, you know, some of the South American teams and players, like, they get to now prove themselves on an international stage, potentially in Busan. Like, what does it mean to you?
Vida, tu não quer mais gato aí pra você, não?
I think for me, personally, it's like huge. Especially
ela
because
fica,
the South America region.
mas ela fica bem quietinha. Olha só.
I think Blizzard don't really, like, care so much about the region.
É,
so
mas ela machuca
like,
as pernas.
It's really important for me, and for my team, I think
morrer
like
2 vezes é o debuff do gato. Não, mas eu ia colocar na...
So we just have a lot of fun all the time.
Eu colocar ela lá na...
Yeah, I think just one real quick question before we send you on your merry way. Making it to Busan would be a big thing for all of you, of course, the big LAN. Has any of your team played on such a big stage before? And, like, you know, how does that impact your motivation going in?
I think my motivation right now is it's really like huge. I'll say I really want to make Busan, and I know all my teammates we want to go to Korea and like just have fun as well and like represent Chile. Me myself, I want to represent Costa Rica as a breakthrough player. So I'll say like it's really like we are gonna lock in, especially to play versus Mexico, and we're gonna win. And we're gonna win, and we're gonna make it fun.
W, yeah, winning and making it fun. Honestly, that's the way to go. Well, thank you very much, Wed, and congratulations on your win today. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. I want to say something real quick. Bert, I mean, Lep. Bert says hi. That was it.
He said hi a few times by hitting the control key over his body. That's good to get that.
But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much, Wed. And yeah, like I said before, good luck in your next games. There you go. I knew there was some beef going on there, but, you know, you got to give it to him sometimes. You got to give it to him. All in good fun, of course. Let's jump over to the next game in just a moment. But before that, make sure you scan the QR code on your screen right now to follow everything on the socials. So that's the YouTube, Twitter, or X, or whatever you want to call it, Instagram and Twitch. And you can get all the latest information on everything Overwatch Esports. That includes Overwatch World Cup and OWCS. But don't go anywhere. We've got 2 more games coming up. Canada versus Brazil. After this break, don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a second.
Então já volto.
Ok, até daqui a pouco.
Até.
Ah, tá. Eu morri. Olha isso. Não, o slow infinito de um boss aqui.
Eu acabei de morrer para um monstro com redução de mana lá. Muito ridículo.
Morri. Não, vou morrer não.
Relaxa. Deixa eu matar todos os inimigos aqui em volta agora.
Dou um hit nele, ele entra na fase invulnerável de novo, velho. Porra é essa, mano?
É azar.
Mais uma vez, velho. Vai tomar no cu, foram 4 já, velho.
Nossa, 4 vezes seguidas essa fase.
Meu Deus, levanta, puto, você vai morrer. Ele tá com 10 de vida, mano. Ele não morre. Ele é imortal. Ele é o deus do sol. Morreu, lixo.
Aí sim.
Perdi 5 anos de vida.
All right, welcome back. Canada versus Brazil up in just a moment. A banger game to start us off with here today. Chile 3-1 against Argentina. I thought it was going to be a 3-0. So yeah, I'm glad to see it was a little bit more close
Caralho, já dei a volta na ilha toda.
But it is Canada time. Oh, yes. I fear for this group. I really do. Against Team Brazil. Let's have a look at Canada's roster first, though. A lot of names everybody is very familiar with, especially players like Astro, Graveyard, Cal, Alex in DPS, as well as Noxus. So, yeah, Team Canada looking very strong this time of year.
Yeah, Team Canada, team with the most returners by far. And as I said, any match with Team Canada
Não acredito que ela pra cima.
always feels like an uphill battle, to say the very least. So we'll have to see what is ahead, because I think Team Brazil had a tough showing yesterday. You know, as when we get to look.
Por que eu parei de vir aqui pra cima do nada?
You'll start to see that yes, they have like some great experience behind their lineup, but where we start to see them fall through, getting that loss against Puerto Rico, makes this a must-win game if they want to move on to groups.
Yeah, let's have a look at their roster real quick. A couple of familiar names in here as well. Players like
Ah, esse gigante do caralho. Infernal.
Of course, in the DPS. Very well-known player. Played the Overwatch League, of course.
Sério, como eu odeio esse gigante.
Ele só pisa.
Eu já começou o jogo?
I think Hydron,
Ainda
the
não.
name that you are going to recognize the most if
Começou.
you've been around, way back
O tanque
from
do cara
the
da
Overwatch
Raymond,
League days,
main
on
rato.
the Florida Mayhem.
Não, parece que eles deram uma nerfada.
Já volto, eu vou pegar o
Kind of in and out, playing in collegiate a bit more, also just qualified.
Antes ele ficava pisando e era teleguiado esses mísselzinhos que ele soltava. Então se tu não conseguia ficar longe.
Beyond that point, though, uphill battle. It almost feels like an understatement for Team Brazil. A little bit shaky heading into yesterday, but at least they seemed to have started off on a decent foot. Baptiste 1v1 again for the choice of seeding, or the seeding choice of map or first map.
Yeah, I think
É.
the Baptiste
tava
one
de
I think is
simétrica,
the
né?
most honorable. I think out of all of them. Although
Porque ele é tanque agora?
Ele tá fazendo duelo de
Honestly, they
Baptiste
should
aqui
disable the
no,
lamp in the 1v1s, I think. I
Ah.
think the ship's fine, but the lamp is crazy on this map as well.
Ih, matei
Bizarro, né?
easy.
Por que não deixou um dos healers
It was
fazer o duelo
Hydron, by the way, that
de
did end up winning this
Baptiste?
one.
É
Spoil, but
injusto.
you guys will
não
find out in
entendi.
30 seconds anyway. So they do, Team
Acho que
Brazil
deveria colocar o
technically
tanque pra
take
fazer, na
a
verdade.
higher seed here.
and they elected for
Duelo de
the
rato.
first medical pick, I believe. So they will have that to go
Acho que
through
o
for
tanque...
our control side of things. We've seen quite a bit of Helios,
não acho nada.
Little
Deixa quieto.
Antarctic Peninsula, depending on
Olha,
the team. I think
os caras não erram o
Helios
tiro.
more for Cat Bastion side of stuff, which has definitely been Team
Então, você
Brazil.
lembra qual
But
skill
no,
que
they
deixa
are
a
going
infusão
to
de
go for
fogo
Antarctic
pra
Peninsula
pegar?
all, which is something Team
Infusão
Canada
de
is very
fogo?
okay with.
É.
You know, the SR rarity in Antarctic Peninsula,
Triste.
you never see this map. Big changes actually
O Brasil
recently, or it feels like recently. I
já baniu a
suppose.
bola,
Been
né?
a
Que
little
deu o
while
main
at
do
this point.
cara.
Sojin and a Wrecking
Sojourn e
Ball
Bonita.
banned. So Team Brazil.
Eu tô pegando infusão.
Seed coming in technically after that 1v1. So they get
Será que é essa
ban,
bola elétrica
they
aqui
get
que
the
deixa?
map.
É,
And they ban first
não.
as well. So ball and then
Ela deixa infusão elétrica ao término do
So,
disparo.
ball and Soj going away. I think the ball is a good target ban from Brazil, seeing how much success Astro had in that specific hero matchup.
Mas é pra uma skill de fogo pegar?
But yeah, Canada.
Ah, pra eu pegar e usar a infusão de fogo, entendeu?
How close
Com
can
outro skill,
Brazil
não com uma skill de
manage
fogo.
this? It almost feels like the experience behind this Team Canada roster is second to really only the United States. We won't see that matchup within our group stage at all. Instead, we'll be starting out on our indoor map.
É uma skill elétrica.
More
Pera, elétrico ou é uma skill de...
idea of controlling these high grounds, and I think that's a style that both of these teams are very happy to lean into.
Não faz sentido, uma skill de fogo, não tenho
no
ideia.
chance for Cat Bastion here, that's for sure. Very tough on this
De
stage.
boa.
All right, brief pause.
Mas você tem que pegar aquele outro, aquela perna aqui em cima
Pretty
que...
good on the wrecking ball, like you said, but also
Que alterna as
any kind of
infusão.
brawly hero like that. I think Astro's pretty damn good on. I'm excited to see Hydron play again. I've not cast as a Hydron in so long at
vai
this point. It
pra
was
aí
Overwatch League,
fudendo.
I think, last time I cast him. So yeah, it's gonna be good to call his name again. But it does feel like Canada. We're not doing predictions here, but if I did have to give a pred, I probably would say Canada 3-0 for this series. Maybe
Se
Brazil.
eu tivesse que fazer uma previsão, vai ser Canadá 3-0. O Casper
Yeah, I think I'm
falando.
gonna have to join you on that one.
E a outra
I think
falou,
it's
eu vou
really
ter
hard
que
to
concordar com
bet
você.
against this team.
Apenas
Canada,
isso, Brasil
again, 4 out of their
nerfadíssimo.
players have already played for Team
É,
Canada
foca tanque,
in the past,
Brasil.
And have pretty much all on the same collegiate roster, at
vou
least their DPS
apostar.
line is. So
tem
that's
como.
really,
Aqui,
really
falou
cool to have that
personalizado. Vamos
established
apostar
synergy. Scrimmage for a
10 mil.
minute, and they have kind of seemed to have solved a lot of the
Pronto.
questions we had for them. Like one being two flex support players.
também acho que o
both
Canadá
Hal and
ganha,
Graveyard,
felizmente.
how that would work out,
Se
but
o Canadá ganhar, eu
unfortunately for
ganho.
them,
Se o
we're in
Brasil
a
ganhar, eu
meta
fico
that
feliz.
could kind of work out.
Okay, so someone reset their
Stomps.
keybinds, so I'm just going to wait for that
Que vai fazer
to be
agora?
sorted out. All good. Don't know how you reset your keybinds accidentally. Although I think with new installs, I think
Ah, tá.
is
Posso ver aquele negócio lá
maybe you
então.
can. I don't know. Someone reset their
Ah,
keybinds.
parece o meu...
It'll be fine. We'll get into
O
the
meu
map in,
mouse
just a
personalizado
moment,
aqui,
yeah.
ó.
I mean, double flex support, especially in this
Não.
kind of
Não
meta,
sabia que ia
I
aparecer.
think that's fine. Also, if you're not playing, like maybe Lucio's like the only support you're not playing if you're playing double flex support, but like it's still super good. I'd rather take 2 flex supports over like 2 main supports. So yeah, sorry main supports. You get a lot of hate. I can't lie. And then you Ajax and everybody points and laughs at you. So yeah, I do feel for you main supports, but as a flex support player, the heat goes off me, so I'm good.
Alright, yeah. It's a tough world out there for him. But then you're out there just like, it's not me, it's this guy, pointing fingers all the
That
time.
guy, look,
Ah,
they
por que esse
Ajax.
clique
It
pra
wasn't me.
responder
I
aqui?
didn't miss the beat. Our main
Yeah,
support
same.
missed the beat. I did nothing wrong because it's almost impossible to rush Jags. Not
O mapa vai
impossible.
I was
ser
gonna
to
say,
no
we
rush
just
map.
saw it
Península.
We saw it, but it is
Mapa
very hard to rush Jags.
remodelado.
Nível.
Yeah, just gonna get into the
não-
game
não
just a
tá
moment, like I
ruim.
mentioned before. Just a quick pause.
Ah,
so
tá, lembrei qual que é o mapa.
we
Confundi com
set
aquele outro de gelo.
I think for Team Brazil, like, hey, a little more time to kind of chat. This game very,
Será que
very
algum gato vai
important.
ficar congelado no
With
teto
that,
ali? Vai voar muito
loss
alto e vai
to
cair?
Team Puerto Rico
Ai,
stings
ai,
a
ai.
bit, especially with them being a Conference Cup team, whereas Brazil were invited, and you're in a situation unless you want to go into some pretty hefty tiebreakers. Which won't even
Arastas.
be possible if you lose to Canada today. So making this as close as humanly possible is going to be key, but yeah, going to be playing into Canada's hand for a lot of this. Have a stacked coaching lineup. Danny at the helm and 4 assistant coaches, I believe, that they have.
Should be getting into this one in just a second. I think.
Ah, mas é isso daqui, ó.
everything is ready to go. Yeah, I was going to say I can't.
Aqui onde tá meu dedo.
Reset up the keybinds. All
É,
good.
muito.
I think I've only had 1 keybind switch. I might sound crazy for this, but what's your melee on? What's your
Melee?
like your? Yeah, what's melee on? I know a lot of players have it on their mouse, but
Everybody but Tracer, I have it on my V. I have it on V.
Okay, you're a crazy person. You're a crazy person that has Tracer as a different melee button. Mine's on F. It's just easy to hit a little, you know, it's not that far away. You hit the F key. Yeah, I mean that's fine. It's completely fine. All right, quick rotation here with the Sim players. Canada, I mean, this comp is a little devious. Sim May, they're going to get walled off, unfortunately. Nice ice block in the front line there. Almost actually stopped Dalgo from getting away. Mokka so low as Astro just hits Nemesis Form, swings the corner, kills the support, and that is Canada taking the first pick and the point.
If I had to name Team Canada's comp, it is the Dalgo is not allowed to have fun comp. You cannot be anywhere near 100%. This team. You're gonna have a hard time, I think, using the speed ring more so as a
você acabou de comer, eu acabei de colocar ali, você comeu.
Actually, no, they don't have the speed ring. Never mind. You're a sitting duck. Good luck, Delka. Maybe Ludwig can stop it with the wall, but now they're gonna just opt to drop down to the point, forcing Canada to come to them. Not the worst idea, all things considered. Seeing if we can make some.
It really is the we hate tank I can't lie to you. Nice little chains on the front line, but Astro should be fine. Even just standing up to the Sim player too, just trusting in the team that they're going to heal them up. And the healing output too, by the way. Chuno Kiri. I mean, come on. Astro is not dying here unless he mispositions like horribly. Hydron on a nice little angle here, but unfortunately, Rabbit's Vortex is going to stop him from actually getting a kill. There will be a rush on the point, actually overloads Team Canada's kind of forward momentum there. This is going to be a flip as they back all the way up. Another nice round and stops Team Brazil from escaping. Another rush, although it didn't actually hitting the wall. Sanctuary comes in, as well as that Symmetra wall being popped by Alex. Will be a trade as that Annihilation on the point rips and tears through two players. Hydro now with a high noon on the high ground, but yeah, I mean, Cal, think of that wall maybe surviving a little bit. Maybe a couple extra seconds or something. Ends up just falling over, but Blizzard isn't enough for a kill. And Astro basically solo carrying this fight here on the Ram. That's what, 3 kills? Almost 4? Yeah, you take that. Team Canada with the flip.
Brazil do manage to get up to 32%, so you're pretty happy with that, but I think just a little bit too fast using the Tsune Rush to chase when Canada already disengaged, left them at a disadvantage by the time they came back in. And an orbital ray here you have to work with, unless Ludwig throws a blizzard on it, you're in for a world of hurt. Oh,
that's so nasty. TP with the orbital ray insta. I mean, I love that.
Aquela skill que solta um monte de meteoro, ela deu infusão.
Less like playtime together is just so nice. Just actually discombobulate them.
Não, ou a Firestorm, se diz. Ela tem que consumir infusão, ela não cria infusão. Por isso ela tava perguntando.
Yeah, and 39% not really winning a full team fight. Pretty darn good. Big teleporter there to actually get Delka out just as the May wall went up from Noxious. Modified territory though for Canada. It looks to push this in. All eyes on Ludwig.
Ela tem que consumir infusão.
A little bit so you can lock up Astro when he pushes on ahead.
Mas acho que fogo consome infusão elétrica.
That works too.
Não, cara, ela consome infusão de fogo pra mudar o elemento do cometa, entendeu?
Não sei.
Nossa, por que você tem que mexer tanta câmera assim?
É o cheat.
Tremedeira na mão.
Ideally, you're only using one in this fight to win it, as Canada
don't
have too much to respond with.
Ansioso, né?
Tem uma chance aí do Brasil segurar e pegar o ponto.
E tu perder 10 mil pontos.
Não tem problema. O Brasil ainda tá com 3 ults. Ah, tá, mas vai pegar uma ult agora do Ramatra ainda. 2, na verdade, porque esse Ramatra aqui, eu acho que eles pegam o ponto agora.
Yeah, the Annihilation is going to be so good on this point. In fact, the entirety of the point currently bisected with 2 of those walls. Blizz is going to force people away, and now Astro pops that ult. Blizz is not doing much for Ludwig at all, but the Cinerushes are going to ring true here for both Cal and Bazanella. Nice rock from Dalka, and well has the Flux. I mean, this Flux has to hit Astro. He's just so alone and isolated, and this wall is going to cut off all the healing from Team
Canada too. So Elite sem ficar meia hora, velho.
There's 10% to go now with Canada. Only 1 player left standing, and they're going to try and chase.
Acho que o Brasil vai pegar o ponto, hein?
This one's just as good as done.
Vai pegar o ponto, não vai levar.
Ai, meu Deus, Pim.
That's boulder to the face. 1 dead Astro, and
round.
Yeah, still, they're gonna take round 1 there.
Isolating Astro with that wall was massive play from Hydron there. You put the wall in the middle of the point. Astro's already overextended to try and get ult kills, and then there's no healing, and so he's alone. And then you flux him, and he instantly dies. That was really nice.
Pera, o Brasil segurou o round, então?
Sim, levou o round.
Dalka only hitting
Conseguiu recuperar.
too, so really close here as Brazil takes one round.
Não vai derrubar meu copo.
Yeah, I think feeling very good about that.
Credo.
It really just came down to that one pick, honestly, onto Noxious there. Gave the
É possível o Brasil perder pra... Como que era? Porto Rico?
Porto Rico.
É,
mas foi assim, um round, né? Vamos ver agora. Vai ver, eles estão só vendo como o Brasil vai agir e agora vai, de fato, counterar alguma coisa.
É só um teste só pra levantar o ego deles, aí agora vai acabar.
Sim, vai humilhar. Vamos ver.
Brazil opt for the coast push that a little more poken set up Dalka. We'll see.
A high level of efficacy here from Mocha. Being able to play on these corners as the Mizuki. Sanctuary's really good on this point as well, actually. Stopping all that poke damage coming in. A bit of a failed attempt at a wall.
Caramba, nem tinha visto.
All good. Dalka's going to be able to re-rotate. But now the Mei has kind of interrupted your rotation here. Both Symmetras are down. The Devil has been slain. But unfortunately, Astro is going to follow with them. Team Brazil are going to camp.
This starts to get a bit scarier once you have that freeze perk online, as we already saw.
Brasil capturou o ponto.
Blasting Astro into a very large popsicle there.
Se os caras estão apanhando no lobo. Parecia
having to walk into this
do atum.
You need Alex to realistically TP you creatively.
Eu apanhei algumas vezes de monge, mas eu passei sozinho.
Caralho, farpas diretamente ao baiano.
É engraçado como eles facilitaram tanto os bosses depois da primeira liga.
Só choro, né, mano? Tava mó da hora. Era estressante, era, mas tipo, tinha dificuldade, tá ligado? Agora eu tô aqui com um equipamento level 15 já no último ato, quase.
Pois é. Eu tô com equipamento nível 12 aqui, um anel nível 12. É, bota 15. Um cinto único sem nível, luva 16.
I think are a little more scared of this next fight. Kikai Sanctuary has my eyeballs from Mocha.
Lembra que os caras falavam que tinha que trocar de item no máximo a cada 20 níveis.
É, o certo seria, né? Por causa da debuff de resistência.
É, mas agora não precisa.
Tô com menos 6 de resistência aqui fazendo os bagulhos.
Caramba, muito boa a luta aqui do Brasil, viu? Atropelando.
Chegou no meu Mimesis agora.
Brasil atropelando os caras?
Brasil atropelando.
É, tô tomando cu pra ir pra frente, né? Padrão.
Opa, nossa. O tanque do Canadá só mergulhou e morreu ali.
Eles estão de quê?
O Canadá?
Os dois.
Brasil Sigma, o tanque, e Canadá Doom.
Ah, tá.
Mas ele tava de Ramatra antes, se não me engano. Mas ele trocou pra poder chegar no ponto rápido.
Sigma é muito forte.
Sigma
mas ontem o Sigma tomou no Rabicó do Porto Rico.
Foda aí. E Porto Rico tava de quê?
Não consigo me lembrar agora. Malga?
Pois é. Aí faltou... Aí porque o Canadá viu o Brasil perdendo, achou que seria tranquilo. Em vez de estudar o jogo e...
Não sei. O Brasil levou o primeiro mapa, mas o mapa também era de escolha do Brasil, né? Então vai ver, eles treinaram muito nesse mapa. Agora vamos ver qual é o mapa da escolha do Canadá. Não sei se mostrou, eu não vi.
Yeah, a really, really nice start. I was expecting coming into
cheguei nesse boss.
We both said maybe a little 3-0 for Team Canada, but Brazil
dos
proving
DPS
us wrong and shutting us up for a moment. Mythic Kitten is an extremely fine.
Nossa, a ordem é bizarra, a ordem dos...
But no, good stuff. I think Hydron, especially on that first round, did a lot of stuff with the May wall. I think the first couple of fights where yeah,
Mas assim, bem
you're just
equilibrado,
having
parece.
Darko just tank infinite damage on the
Dando
Sigma
cura.
and then hoping they survive and get picks. Just wasn't it. But as soon as they switched, Hydron onto the Sim.
Ah, eu vou demorar um ano pra matar esse boss que tem essa resistência ridícula.
Ai, e eu vou demorar um ano no Viper aqui, velho.
Like we saw here, there were some tricky plays, but it just seemed once the wheels fell off the bus for Team
Não, mas
Canada in that one
você
flight
sabe
that
que você
not
tem
just
que
got
fazer ele
fixed,
jogar
they lost
pedrinha nos
any
caras lá de
momentum
cima, né?
and
Ah, é sério?
Ah, então tá bom. É, porque vai que você não sabe.
Não, eu não sabia.
Ah, você não sabia?
Não sabia.
Tem que fazer ele mirar a pedra nos caras ali em cima.
Caralho, é brincadeira. Nossa.
O pessoal no chat enchendo o saco.
Eu não sabia real disso. Eu vi os caras ali, mas eu não sabia como destruir isso.
É. Tudo tem um porquê, cara.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you're expecting Canada to have a lot of different comps up their sleeve. But Team Brazil coming out with a win already. I mean, that's going to bolster their confidence, that's for sure, especially in this group. You mentioned before that Team Canada and Team USA probably aren't going to meet until, well, they aren't going to meet until they head to Busan if they end up winning their group. I'm still expecting Canada and USA to make it there, but maybe Brazil has a fighting chance as well in this group. Nice little map win to start us off with, as Canada now have to make their choice. Where do we go next?
I think this is a big consideration for them.
Nossa, muito mais fácil sem essa resistência ridícula dele.
Chama esses caras pra jogar na Copa. Foi muito bom. Mas nesse jogo, o DPS lá, o Hydron, jogou muito melhor do que ontem. Ontem parecia que ele tava só, sei lá, só não tava afim.
I think after a map like that where Brazil were so heavily in control of the tempo, it seems like the safest option, especially when you have that map pick and first ban available to you.
Obrigada.
Hey, just go ball. Just run it down, ignore everything, play ball. You just gotta... Yeah, False can come in and play the Roadhog, maybe? Hey.
É verdade, né? O main do tanque do Canadá tá banido. Ih, travou lá.
False played Roadhog a long time ago. It can happen, and maybe it will. Another ex-Vancouver Titans player, by the way. Well, okay, I'm saying Tizzy like it's the Korean player Tizzy. It wasn't, but, you know, Vancouver Titans have been the obviously
Porto
team
Rico,
to mention today. He was on that team many moons ago with Sugar Free, I believe. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see where they want to go after this. Team Canada, double flex support, a lot of ability to play different comps. Probably not going to steer towards the Lucio, but that's fine, because you can play Juno.
Not even Juno. I think we've seen Team Canada, they veer more towards these very greedy flex support comps, where they can do like an Ana Iari together.
Oh, they go into the home buff map.
I mean, yes, home buff. That is a home buff, actually. Wait, that's actually very smart.
Agora todo mundo acha que o Brasil vai ganhar, ó.
If they do, it might be Jover.
It might be over for
Todo mundo votou no Brasil já?
É, o primeiro mapa, a maioria votou no Canadá, né? Aí agora o Brasil ganhou o primeiro mapa, todo mundo votou no Brasil pro segundo mapa.
Ah, tá, então a votação é por mapa.
É por mapa.
Aí é foda, perdeu 10 mil.
Não tem problema, não tenho muitos mil. Ainda tem 50 mil pra perder.
Was like
o próximo mapa, New Queen Street.
New Queen Street was one of the most played ones. Runa Sapi, obviously a newer push map.
Agora vota no Canadá, ó. Todo mundo vai votar no Brasil e tu fica rica.
Eu prefiro que o Brasil ganhe. Baniram Runasap.
É pra cá, ó.
O Runasap é mapa de gato. Ilhos também e Oasas também. Acho que nenhum time quer lidar com gato.
The push maps, I think it was a little weird first just because teams didn't really know what to play. It can feel awkward at times with how it goes, but especially with the changes from Colosseo, yeah, they feel like so long ago, the priority and pick for this map has just dropped off a cliff, so maybe that's part of the strategy for Team Canada, say, you know what, we know we have the home ground buff here, let's just practice it so we're unbeatable on it. So anytime that somebody meets us, they just don't know what to do. Maybe that's a strat? I don't know. You need something to recover from that Antarctic Peninsula. That is all I can say.
Bonitinho.
They'll be fine. They got the mental. Sure. I believe. I think this map. I think Runasapi, honestly, being real, is just a better map compared to New Queen Street. Just the layout wise. I think with New Queen Tree, fighting over the checkpoint is so much more difficult. There are a lot less like angles to kind of take. Yeah, sure, you can take like the mini staircase next to the bus stop. You can take like an even wider angle if you really want to. But normally you're just fighting them on like where the middle of the map is, where the mega health pack is. It can be really tough. So yeah, we'll see if Team Canada can trip.
Bora, cara, faz as runas, cara.
This one, we'll jump in that in just a moment. I think when it comes to
Vou fazer, pô.
Sure, I mean, the ball has been banned away. Team Canada can play the wrecking ball here if they want to. They've chosen to ban the cat, actually.
Brasil baniu o Cassidy.
On this map? Yeah, obviously,
será que o Brasil queria ir de gato?
If they want to play something like a ball, go quick.
Por isso baniu o Cassidy.
Yeah, I think you're pretty okay with that. Team Canada said multiple interviews that they do not like this comp and they will find other options to it.
Brasil perdeu já agora.
Yeah, they're just gonna say, you know, we're gonna play what we want to play.
E eles vão poder jogar de bola ainda nesse mapa porque
the Cassidy, I think, is a bit of an interesting one. It is one of those heroes that we can see a Noxus really pop off on if he wanted to pull it. Also tells me Brazil might be wanting to go for a bit of a faster playstyle themselves, perhaps, as that can be a bit of a change. But speaking of changes, we do have a substitution. Actually, Alex will be coming out. Razor will be going in on this map. Plus a couple of subs on Brazil. Wow, everybody's changing up.
Are you going to a map that you've not really played a whole bunch recently? I mean, sure, why not? Canada taken to the home field advantage map. The Toronto map. New Queen Street. Razor in, like you mentioned. Mids and Wazzy in for Team Brazil.
Okay. Two Wrecking Ball teams, I think this is starting to make sense, and you're not really going to want to play the May sort of flex DPS with that anyway, so throwing mids back into the mix also makes sense. First time that we'll actually be seeing them play out the weekend today. Same with Wazy, so get a bit of their debut in this World Cup conference.
Quem, o Brasil?
Excuse me, on
os dois, na verdade.
But yeah, Wrecking Ball Mirror, big difference though. I think this Mizuki for Graveyard has a lot of potential to change the game.
Yeah, so when you got double flex support, you know no Lucio is going to be played.
Tem duas bolas.
I like it though. You're kind of going to be hanging around with the Sojourn anyway, just hoping for a pick.
Mudou o tanque, mudou a pessoa. O nome era o Assisi? Não era Dalpa? O tanque do Brasil?
Por isso que ele tá vindo. Será que entrou reserva?
Então, mas no mapa anterior era Dalpa.
Nossa. Oxi.
Eu vi errado?
Yeah, and I think Graveyard is still going to be the key player for this match. If you can just stop
Mas trocar tão rápido assim.
From Wizzy like that, well, there's not really much else you can do. There's no counter dive, there's no real turn and burn. Without that tank, enough of a stall.
O ruim é que também trocou as cores do time. Eu fico
being on this
confuso.
Reaper, the burst potential, if you can manage to get close to one of these pile drive targets, or for some reason, Wazy gets too close to your backline, you're there to cover. Well, he is in a bit of an awkward spot. We'll have to Wraith on out.
On Hydron. One of the characters he's known for in the Soj and played a whole bunch when he was playing in Tier 1.
Canadá tá levando.
Hydron pick up kills. There we go. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Nice little body shot from Hydron takes down Cal. Very swingy though this map, especially with how quick you can get back to the fight. As Astro just rolls in and kills the Tracer, because of course, Astro a very good Wrecking Ball player. And I'm honestly quite excited to see the ball here. I think Astro is very fun to watch when he's on one of his favorite picks. So picking off two like that, that's a good start. And well, Team Brazil, sure, they got a couple of picks themselves, but resetting this map is just so tough against ball.
And that's just kind of the nature of these competitions too. It's highly unlikely that you're going to see a clean team at any point. Very deathmatchy. We're going to see backlines traded constantly.
O tanque deles está jogando no ponto, o nosso tanque está tentando pegar a backline.
Well,
eles estão levando
post bomb, didn't do anything. Everybody had already walked out the way and got booped away. Yeah, like you said, very team deathmatch. Very, very team deathmatch. Surely you don't let this point. Well, they're going to get it for free now. Well, okay. Well, the team deathmatch has to stop at some point for Team Brazil here. Because Canada are walking away with it.
Puta vagabunda.
Online here, I do expect those to start to come out. I love the Kitsune rush from Basinella to the point, but look how far up. How is Noxus in the backline right
Please
now?
Stop the
Cara, que carrinho e o tanque do Brasil tá passeando pelo mapa.
Esse mapa aqui, se você... Esse mapa é aquele mapa que eu falei pra você de uma partida que eu assisti, que o time teve 13 lutas. teve 13 lutas entre times.
Ah, sim, lembrei.
O time que ganhou 8 perdeu. Porque o time que ganhou só 4 das lutas ali sabia levar melhor o robô.
Sim, lembro.
É tipo o que tá acontecendo aqui. Não adianta você ganhar a luta se o robô tá sendo levado o tempo inteiro pelo outro time.
Oh, my Lucio. Oh, my Lucio. Nice dive from Astro. Set up very well with the disruptor shots. They do trade, sure, but like, you have Noxus on this off angle now. Both the backliners end up going down, however, but spinning to win is Razor. Nice little dive there on the Sojourn, who looked fairly tantalizing to dive upon as the death match continues. Well, we lost the Tracer, but it should be fine. It is a ball against a Reaper, so don't think Wasi wants to stay around.
We've lost the Tracer.
O narrador aqui tá falando que é tipo um deathmatch, tá? Cada um num lugar, um contra um ali.
You're gonna hands check somebody. I don't think Team Canada necessarily the one you want to do that with. Still very conservative with their resources. This is now the third fight they'll be entering with their support ult, so the less Weezy gets out of this one alive, it might be longer.
Yeah, they're trading a nice post-on connection onto the Soj, but it will be Team Canada using that rush. Sanctuary comes in as well to stop all that incoming fire. Sound barrier hits for Brazil. Team Canada just still playing deathmatch at this point, as Mocha is sent very low, close to the edge of the map. And there's just no semblance of control from Brazil right now. It's very hard, obviously, in these comps to, like, pin down a fight, but it feels like Astro is doing the mostest right now for the entire team. The amount of work this guy's doing, bopping people around, and also just staying alive is a little absurd.
Yeah, we're seeing Sizzy in the kill feed a little bit more, but I think for Astro, the work you do outside of that matters more. So we do have a pause coming in. Hopefully, nothing too crazy going on behind the scenes, but back in shortly is in. We're kind of at like, I don't even want to say a fight win, like a pause in
chato, cara. Só sair do labirinto.
There's no fight wins here, Molly. I hate to break it to you.
É chato quando ele mata você com um hit ridículo, do nada.
Aí é justo.
Esse labirinto aqui não é problema.
It is just picks, and that's it. We're playing pick Overwatch. Astro, by the way, is 9-1 with 5k damage.
Wow, okay.
Leading the team. By the way.
Shocker.
Yeah, I feel like he's...
O problema é a mecânica lá da parte elétrica dele.
He's got mines too. Yeah, if a ball is just kind of let loose to kind of roll around, especially in like a ball v ball type matchup, I'm sorry, the better ball team is going to win because the enemy wrecking ball is going to get shut down. It's just so hard against wrecking ball specifically, unless you come in with a counter. Looks like we are unpausing though as we get back into this map. Let's go. Astro with a nice kill. And, well, now they've got checkpoint again. So, they've got checkpoint and the forward spawn.
Yeah, normally, like, all right, when you get checkpoint, it's a bit tricky. But against this comp, where it's so hard to peel people off of the payload, what do you even do at this point? For Brazil, you got to come up with the win con, and you're hoping it's Hydron.
Graveyard was in Narnia there. No man's land straight up. Even sent out the TP as Hydron gets blasted in the back of the head by Razor. I mean, that is unfortunate for Hydron. End up popping the ult as well. Razor ends up just dueling out against two players, but an instant Suzu will save the day as Mocha goes down to Astro somewhere in Antarctic Peninsula still. As with 60 meters and counting here, Team Canada very much.
O tanque deles é muito bom de bola.
Yeah, Team Canada's splits are just so much better. I mean, having Noxious set up with Cal, Razor with Graveyard and Astro, doing whatever the heck he wants. I just won't be in this main area because there's a minefield and you don't have Graveyard.
Graveyard just got back.
Yeah.
Me when I respawn and then get instantly crushed by the ball. This is fantastic. Not even on a rotation, by the way. Post bomb for mids. Astro recall super early on. Use those mines for defense there. 1v1 against Cal. Not someone you want to face in the 1v1, especially when Cal's on the Kiriko, that's for sure. Death Blossom. And that's a couple of kills there. Razor assisting in that second one. Bazinella goes down. And with her death, that signals the end of the team fight. And finally, we have stopped team deathmatching. It is actually a team kill.
There we go. It's real. It can happen, people. Confirmed. Team Canada, though, is so good at the map control. It seems that Brazil have sort of been corralled, whereas Canada are taking safe angles and winning them out for the most part. So that sandwich between Noxus and Razor with their own ultimates will leave them with slightly less options going ahead, but with pick early on the Hydron plus a Kitsune Rush, they're going to be A-okay.
Nossa, que Tracer chato, hein?
Work from mid there. Force the recall super early, though.
Tracer não tô vendo ela fazer nada.
Didn't even break any glass there. Didn't even fall to the ground.
Quando ela tá quase matando o Reaper, ele foge. Quando ela tá quase matando aquele, ela teleporta. Tipo,
looking like a full cap angle as well. Those Mizuki chains are just so frustrating if you're a Wrecking Ball player. The Reaper's right next to you too, so you just get actually destroyed. Full cap here for Team Canada by the looks of things, if they can get another pick.
acho que esse mapa é do Canadá mesmo.
Ganhar dinheiro com isso?
Eu apostei no Canadá.
Bora, minha planta.
Eu apostei os mesmos 10 mil.
Paznello is so close to going down. Sanctuary gets popped as well. Graveyard
Deve tá
falls
rica agora.
into the Wrecking Ball. As Mids, you know what, decides emergency fire time, fires straight into the Sanctuary a couple of times. And
Ixi, eu não lembro dessa mecânica aqui não.
Went absolutely nowhere. There's the Wrecking Ball player down for Team Brazil. Looks like Team Canada are going to be able to clean up now. An emergency Sanctuary, but it's looking just about over. Especially with this from Razor. Team Canada will tie this map up. Only a couple of players left. It needs clean. There you go. Classic push moment where it doesn't end for the next 5 minutes because the Wrecking Ball is just swinging around the final point. Someone kill the ball, please.
Esse chocão dele é
And there
ridículo.
it is. Wait, there's someone else touching the point? Mock is here. Half a second. Team Canada. And there we go. Okay, 1-1. Team Canada coming up with a very swift victory on their hometown map, New Queen Street.
I don't know what you'd have done if you lost this map. It would have been pretty sad. All the team.
Ah, preciso de mais dano.
F4 and
Muito fraco.
uninstalled if they lost at 140 meters. That would have been biggest comeback in history in Overwatch. But yeah, like you said, Team Canada, they're going to win here. Of course they are. It was real.
I think this is just their comp. You're so much more comfortable in this than you are Raw. Maybe not even just comfort. Like, it's your game. Unless you're going out of your ways to specifically practice this, which you're not, unless you have a very strong Wrecking Ball player, you're going to win this 9 times out of 10. And I do want to commend Brazil for taking that fight to them, trying to whip that around, but from the start, as you said, 22-1 with almost 9.2k damage. Pretty good. And cooking that up with the Reaper as well. You can tell a lot of time has gone into this for Team Canada. Brazil, a tough fight from the start. Still have the map over them, so you're not like at match point or anything, but it does show how important these map picks and bans are going to be going through the rest of the series.
And you can see why the Wrecking Ball was banned map 1.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We went to Antarctic Peninsula, to be fair. Ball's not his best control map of all time, but hey, that is Team Canada up a map now. 1-1, so we're going to a minimum of 4 maps here. We'll see how well Team Brazil can actually ban out this kind of comp, because
ganhei 22.900.
I'm sure that's fine. A lot of these open maps where the cap bastion is pretty good. I mean, Team Canada can just play the ball and play quick comp. So yeah, we'll see if the substitutions end up being swapped around us here for Team Brazil as we go into the next one.
And I think any flashpoint map would be a no-go. That seems a little tricky, especially with no Wrecking Ball ban, unless you're like locking in a new Junk City and maybe take away one of the key parts like a Tracer or like a Reaper even. But yeah, I think for the most part, the map pool is more suited to what
Esse choque do caralho.
want to play. If they want to force some of these Broly comps, King's Row is still available as an option. You have the Circuit Royale even, if you want to go back to that side of things, which honestly, I'm kind of expecting that to come out. Being the Sigma main
Eu vou comprar o que pra melhorar?
that Brazil had a lot of success on early on.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, King, Circuit, anywhere like ball's not good. Astro can still play the Ramatra though, so I'm not sure the level of priority for Team Brazil banning out the tanks. We'll see. Obviously, they'll get their ban first, so they could ban out like a Ramatra for Astro and then go on to like Kings. Because
Isso aqui é uma merda, o arc do Poi 2 é lixo.
Yeah, it's tough. I think the fans as well.
Pra acertar uma bosta.
Dictate where Team Canada wants to go with their team comp as well in terms of players.
Nossa.
Que mapa será
That's pretty
agora?
common. Like when you have teams with such different strengths, you're going to be very careful about the decisions that you are making.
Esse ridículo. Deixa eu voltar
They might seem a little bit more
base aqui, ver se tem alguma coisa que eu possa fazer.
Not necessarily as. Yeah, I think this does make sense. You're not gonna play the Wrecking Ball here for the most part. You will be running into a Death Ball that Brazil will want to set up on this new Junk City map. And yeah, I think we're
Tá sendo bastante jogado esse mapa.
Antarctic Peninsula likely to come on in. see what ends up getting banned. I cannot imagine it's like the Mei or even the Sim. They seem to play with that very well, and will likely want to do it. I'm almost thinking like a support ban in a way to throw off this double flex support.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that actually. A little support ban. I think honestly just banning the Ram here might be strong.
Oh, true.
Just getting rid of that so Astro can't play Brawl as well. And then just run Sig and then force a Sig. Sig mirror. Looks like we are getting some substitutions though. Alex in for Razor on the DPS. Team Brazil have Ludwig coming in for Miss. So I'm thinking here that is going to be back to the Mei shenanigans. Also a tank substitution too. So Dalka.
Realmente. Ai, agora ele tá
back
travando.
in. So it looks to me like
Parece
it's
que
going
o
to be a
Dalka vai
Sigma
voltar e vai
Mei
trocar dos
type
DPS pro
angle here for Team
Ludwig.
Brazil. They're going to try and force it.
Que acho que ele tava de Mei.
I think you absolutely need to be playing. If you're going to play the Sigma, you need the Mei. That's something that we've seen.
Que um peitoral com 31 de espírito. Tu quer ela?
Quanto?
31 de espírito.
Não, a base é armadura e evasão. Sai fora.
Fala.
TT já querendo me afundar mais do que eu já tô afundado aqui.
Dá o quê, cara? Só quero te ajudar.
Quer me ajudar? Me dá sua Divine.
Divine.
Olha lá, agora Divine, ó.
You are Team Canada, and this was the concern. If you take away another one of those things,
Ban Mei e ban Kiriko. Sendo que o cara provavelmente, o Ludwig, entrou pra jogar de Mei.
I mean, look what happened on that one. I mean, the Mei was a little nasty from Ludwig. So, okay,
like that ban
Team Canada. Brazil gonna ban the Kiri. So, again, very like, okay, we want to play like this Sigma, so we can even play like Juno Brig. We can really bring it back. Juno Brig, Sig. You can still play Sim. You could have like a Reaper too. I mean, there's plenty of angles that Brazil can go even without the Mei. So we'll see what Canada kind of respond with. I think it's a smart ban though, banning out that Mei. Just get the. There's two devils
Apesar que a Mei ontem do Brasil tava jogando contra o Brasil, né?
Sim and Mei. Those are the two demons of this game. They need to be sated at some point, so I'm glad Mei's out.
A outra Mei tava arrasando com a gente também.
Oh, we were in the darkest timeline of all time. We're seeing the Sim Mei mirrors, and it is just walls everywhere. Like, yeah, we were in a dark place, but thankfully this map a little bit brighter. This Mei has been bad. We'll see what Ludwig wants to play.
Vamos ver.
I mean, Sim is still an option. So.
Brasil vai ter Sombra, Genji,
you know what? One is better than two in that situation.
Brigitte e Juno. Diferente. Canadá, Ramatra, Simetra, Sojourner,
I'm not going to comment on that for now, but
Mizuki.
I think for Team Canada, targeting the flex support I think makes a lot of sense for Brazil, but playing an Ana here can be a bit risky. It will be helpful into Dalka's Malga and a lot of the composition, but actually staying alive is going to be another story. You can be easy to engage on, so that support from Graveyard, all the more important is there's still some evil in the world.
Agora é
Alex
Reaper e Sojourner.
This is so sad. This is so sad, but it's okay. You know what? The Ana is going to see play. It's Cal's best hero, by the way, by quite a large margin, I'd say. Cal's Ana is kind of crazy as he instantly gets destroyed, stomped on, turned to like mush on the side of the street.
Os caras estavam falando, os casters falando assim, é difícil jogar de Ana, porque, né, vai ser fácil dela morrer. A primeira coisa que aconteceu, pularam tudo na Ana.
Maybe on some of the more open ones, you can force it, but with Dalka on this is a hard death brawl. Let's all hold hands and run at them together kind of comp. That is not what Canada want to be messing with. I think Alex on Reaper makes much more sense than destroying Dalka. And Astro, more survivability on the Sigma, so it's gonna be careful. That is a good bio nade from Cal. There isn't just that much follow-up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there we go. Never mind.
Yeah, Noxus having a crazy little off angle there. Good nade from Cal. That starts us off real well. And that's the big problem here, not having the Kiriko. Brazil ban Kiri. It's like, well, the art is pretty good. And yeah, Dalka is like, yep, not going to stick on Malga. Absolutely no shot. Ram way much easier to stay alive on. You can hit Nemesis form if you get naded.
I feel like we're in a game for tank, rock, paper, scissors here. Astro may be going back to the mantra at a later point in time, but for now, no ultimates really online. Canada, they're going to take advantage of that. Having Cal set up now, these bio-nades are a huge win condition. Don't have to worry about like not hitting a sleep dart either. Just with the unstoppable charge on tank should Dalka get too close, but already in the backline, Alex under pressure.
Ai, vou usar
Rotate
isso.
if you're Team Canada, though. That's all you need to do is just permanently rotate around this high ground and ideally don't get caught.
Pra criar infusão, o bagulho que demora 3 segundos pra explodir.
So much pressure.
Mas
The
fala
Nano
bem.
has Cal already, but that flux was unbelievable from Astro. Hit 3 players.
Não sei, eu tenho um monte de cara aqui, hein?
Noxus does the rest with the
Espero
Railgun triple
que ajude.
for the carry. Sojin. It's Cal, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're just going to play away, not away from Graveyard, but to a point where, like, if Graveyard gets jumped on, your Team Brazil, you're committing a lot to try and kill that Mizuki, and then Cal can kite back and then pop Nano on someone if they end up going down low. So, good point for Canada as we now get to the next one.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, the Respawn's expenditure for Brazil.
O
A
Brasil
little bit
perdeu
of
o
tunnel
primeiro
vision,
round.
I think, with how they were playing. That you can't really afford to take soft pushes with this composition either. A little of the ultimates to walk on in. Bionade, though, very scary. Into an orbital right. With it going out onto Ludwig, I think this is the opportunity Brazil are looking for, because Team Canada are now forced to take a different angle from this point. Noxious is on one.
Nano Reaper. Oh, Nano, there's some nice little bash there in the front line, but Mokka's already down. And look at this Nano Reaper go. A good whip shot actually sends him hurtling over the edge. Quick teleport to the high ground, though. Will make sure he's in a better position to do damage. But unfortunately, fight's already over here for Team Brazil. Nano Reaper straight into the front line with a death bottom. That's how you win a team fight.
Nossa, o dano deu uma boa melhorada mesmo.
Oh, wait, the Sojourn's on flank? Okay, let's just walk into the rest of the team and take this advantageous fight. And it is actually going to be a swap from Brazil. They want to lean into that a bit more. We're back on the Symmetra, whether we like it or not. So, seeing that they can trip up Team Canada and close that
Só
gap.
desviar esse caralho.
Cal and Astros are kind of burning as many resources just to take this easy fight. Although Cal is
sneaky
still
nade.
lurking.
Oh, look at him go. Wait a second, they're definitely not going to expect it. He has to get a nade off quick. Orbital Ray, the nade's good for 3 as well. Unbelievable nade from Cal. Hits a couple of shots there onto Mokka, but Dev completely alone and isolated in the front line. And unfortunately, that hero nade hitting 3 players only resulted in 1 kill. As Brazil, a little bit too quick there. Canada aren't able to capitalize on Cal's heroics.
Yeah, the only one that didn't get hit by the nade there was Dalka, and using that annihilation inside of the orbital ray, still a scary sight, so unfortunately just could not get close enough to actually follow up on that play. But more options now for Team Canada as they look to approach. Noxious been lighting up on these overclocks.
Já chegou?
Highlighted that
Talvez. Eu ouvi uma buzina, mas não tenho certeza se foi aqui.
If he can press his button at a good time, find these shots as him and Cal around now.
Fox is going to connect. There's going to be easy pickings here for Noxus. Already doing a lot of damage in the front line with this overclock. But again, a very good ult from Astro. Sets the team up very well. I mean, if you're pushing into the show like that, you just got no chance to shove a support ult, but you're going to lose here. Like, you will die to the flux.
Yeah, no, there's not really much option, especially with Alex right there. Just blast you in a small corner. Very few options. Canada. As soon as Brazil can get a touch, the teleporter's there. They're on the point.
The sleep is so good. Yeah, Ludwig does end up getting out alive, but the nano boost is going to come in. Oh, and the nades.
Ai, tem o dano agora.
Só falta divine angle. As the nano boost on the Reaper. That'll be all. Thank you very much. Not even a tip there. Come on. Give me one. Give me one more. Chase him down. Teabag him. Really extra teabag him. Get his ass.
That one felt personal, not gonna lie. But, yeah.
There's been a lot of personal. I will say there's been a lot of that. And that's what I will say one thing, Molly. The World Cup does really bring out the fun BM banter side of things as well. You know, Brett teabagging in the last game, Lep a little bit. I think Canada and the USA always have a good time as well. Ash ends up getting bashed, but not before he can isolate 2 with the death bottom. And once again, Cal proving how damn good they are on the Ana. Hits 3 with a Bionade in the front. Brazil, licking their wounds a little bit, crying maybe out of both eyes and having to back up.
But if Astro didn't die there, I would say that'd be just win that fight easily. But Falcon could just walk up to the point for free, and this is suddenly a fight that Brazil very had to take with the photon barrier. Not much Canada could do, be able to answer it as Astro is just now getting back to the fight.
Adrenalin's on top of the wall here on the point. They're still willing to kind of stay in this one because of that ultimate. Graveyard just goes down to Hydron. Sure, I saw his health bar trickling. I was curious if he was going to use Sanctuary. And despite that very early team fight here coming through for Canada, they end up just flopping over like a fish on dry land. That will be Brazil also staggering Cal. Okay, lovely didn't get in there. Probably could have just died to the turret, but all good. Stagger Cal for a brief moment.
Relaxa, vai na calma, cara.
It's part of that personality, you know? You gotta show the
Personality on my left and my right hand.
Exactly. Brazil, though, Orbital Ray, Gravitic Flux. I really don't see a way to use this unless somebody goes down early, which is what Noxious wants to try to look for.
It was rip, he was heads clean off. Flux ends up coming through in that choke point. Cal in trouble, and yeah, with the Orbital Ray, there's just no way you're not insta-killing someone there. Well, it's not out of the woods just yet. It's a good focus fire from Team Canada ends up bringing down the Sigma. And now, unfortunately, Mokka's 1 HP, scurrying for cover as Noxious saves the whole team fight for Team Canada, picking up 2 kills.
What I say? If Noxious can find an angle, well, that's kind of the only thing that's going to stop that. Dalka did also put himself on a bit of an island. Can't do it when Astro was on the Ramatra plus Cal's Ana is always a threat. You worry up, so Canada will be denying the extra point to Brazil. One-point territory for them. But Nanolation, though, as a win con here for Team Canada, that is terrifying. If I am Brazil...
Nade.
Yeah.
Insane nade. They're just going to walk him forward.
Yeah.
This is... I don't think he even needs the ult here. I'm going to be honest here.
No.
Yeah, just nano boost, Nemesis form, run it down. And again, a good nade from Cal. So Dalka's like, what, half HP at the start of that fight? Can't get healed.
Not much that we need. And I think holding on to Annihilation is going to be really helpful because now we're seeing Brazil build up some more of those resources. It'll be really easy to get to the point just with the combination teleporter and the wall, but Astro wants to take the fight to Brazil. Never mind, five-man nade!
Oh my nade from Cal. The teleport, I think, came through, and the nade hit 5, the wall comes up, and there it goes. Oh, Cal again. With an unbelievable bio nade. They just can't capitalize because of the wall.
Pra pegar o ponto de volta, mas acho que vai levar o ponto agora que já tava em 99. Valeu a pena.
City game, but the fact they're able to pull that through is kinda crazy. All things considered, we'll be going to the more open.
O Ramatra deles ultou no time do Brasil pra tentar segurar eles de ir pro ponto. A Cimeta colocou um teleporte pro ponto. Aí o Ramatra ficou lá batendo no ar sozinho e eles já estavam no ponto, batendo no pessoal lá. Aí ele teve que andar até o ponto. Aí quando chegou lá já tinha gente morta. E aí tinha a parede da Simetra. E não deu pra fazer nada.
Is up there already with the team and just gonna deny the silver clock entirely.
Another good nade in the back line. They can just walk up this one for free. Just firing shots down range. This Noxus. And they managed to claim the high ground for free. There's the death boss from Alex. Again, getting 2 kills off rip. There's nothing there. Maybe apart from a whip shot. A small little pathetic bash from the non-ulting Brig Shield, sure. There's just nothing you can really do against the Reaper ult if he gets a good TP.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at the sound of the Reaper going, "Whoa," falling off the map there. That was bad. Yeah,
he did enough. He did enough. Don't need to do any more.
No, it's good. But yeah, Brazil, that's tough. You can't do much about this ultimate.
Okay, don't let him get away with this again.
No way.
Don't let him get away with this again. Me when I just 8-nade in the front line, and yeah, goodbye team. I'm loving this. The Ana players just playing on the front line and then just lobbing the nade. Although saying that, Hydra and Mokka still get kills, but the problem is Astro still has this ult. There is going to be Alex in the front line, going dangerously low, hits the shit to get away, but it's all on Astro to carry this fight, and he's going to do it with ease. He's just got so many resources to play with here, and even with this wall, Hydra's just going to get walked out. The Sim cannot stand up to the might of Astro, and Team Canada looking to take this one away.
Uma ult de Simetra jogada fora ali,
You got
acho que ela não viveria tempo de voltar também.
You got a boost! The Brig's half HP, and here's the rally. Bazanella goes down, and Astro continues the rampage, and the Doom ends up touching the point eventually, but this point is just Astro all day, every day. Team Canada now on match point, a 2-1 in the series so far. Brazil only taking that control.
Você tem que ficar perto dele.
The May really struggle into this brawling type matchup that Canada was able to put forwards, and the Cal Ana. I mean, honestly, would you have rather kept to the Kiriko, just so you don't have to worry about it. That's something that will be a wound for a while for this team. This is kind of the Canada we were expecting to see come out today, and they know where their strengths are, they know where their weaknesses are, and they have targeted it perfectly with the map and bans. And I'll see if Brazil can work some more magic like they did on map number 1. So otherwise, this is looking all red and white.
Brazil are like, why did we ban the Kiri, man? Like, Cal is just hitting these fat antis like over and over and over again.
Nossa, é muito dano.
Well, looking good though on the deaths.
Deles,
they've all got 10
deles.
each. So you know what? Team synergy on point. Can't be said for Team Canada. A couple of players with 7. The rest with 6s. But yeah, that map was all Cal and Astro, honestly. Can't really give an MVP here or anything like that. We're not doing a player or chat of the match anymore, sadly. But I would definitely give it to either Astro or Cal. Astro for that last point specifically, but Cal hitting these crazy nades, hiding on the flanks.
Eu acho que eu vou até pausar aqui o meu jogo.
Like, you know, the whole like the classic nade from the other players where they just run forward and just nade, like the classic one like that, or the gliding around the corner. When was the last time you see that kind of work? Like,
Vou passar em algum momento.
Dominant in Overwatch since her very release, right? So it's nice to see that strat still working out for Team Canada.
Yeah, I definitely not seen before hero bans became
Nossa, mecânica.
Kiriko being as present as she has, but this is a great look, I think, for Cal and the rest of Team Canada. Going on ahead to the series, yeah, Brazil get their next map pick. Yeah, they'll have the May, but even if they do, those options, kind of like that Circuit Royale or something that we were talking about before, your hand is forced here. You are going to be needing to take that one away.
Agora ele inverteu os lados.
Wanting to play Kiriko yourselves for sure. So yeah, it just seems that every map we go to, it seems like, uh-oh, that's another problem, that's another problem, that's another problem. You think about for Team Canada, and suddenly it seems like this mountain of issues is getting a little too high.
Yeah, it's like, whoa,
Acho que você vai
we banned the
conseguir,
ball on
mano.
map 1. We can't ban in map
Have
2.
faith,
It's a ball
tá
map.
ligado?
We banned the Kiriko. Well, Cal is really good on Ana, actually. And then Astro, you know, good on the ball. Also,
falta tu olhar a minha tela, cara.
So it was a little bit of counter watch at the very beginning, but that was Team
Tava alguém torcendo por mim ali.
É, sobre isso.
Does end up being a 3-1 though. It's kind of
Não puxou aquela mecânica ridícula dele.
And to be fair with you, I thought today might be a
Nossa, olha que fácil. Se esse cara tivesse vindo antes de ajudar.
At least with a couple of 3-1s at least to start out. Let's have a look at the map pool once again. And something we spoke about, what, maybe 20 minutes ago? Circuit Royale still in the pool, so it is going to be Brazil picking that one up.
Yeah, and you for sure have the May, and I hope you protect that Sigma. I think that is a must for this team. You do not, I don't think you want to play a Ramatra here. If you have the choice yourself. So just, I think you ban the Ramatra, suck it up with the Kiriko. You'll have, or the Ana, have the Kiriko back to be able to counter that a bit more. But I do not think in any world should you be allowing the Ramatra to return, especially with Dalka being the best on this Sigma.
O pessoal tá bravo porque eles não estão nem corrigindo o score aqui na live, tava errado.
Ana's great on this map, obviously long sight lines, yada yada yada. But also, Cal can just play like Alari as well. Real. So if you go for the Sigma head to head, like, okay, we just play double flex with the Alari as well. Like Alari in general, extremely good. This
Estão chamando o Brasil de México agora.
You can't really think of another one.
Por quê?
Maybe something like Numbani is good as well. Hollywood's pretty decent, but Circuit Royale, any kind of range poke, is just so good. So I do fear for Brazil coming in, because yeah, I do agree with you. If you end up having to protect the Sig, you end up just banning Ram. But if you don't go that direction,
Max
maybe
Peak ali no Circuit Royale,
like a backline aggressive character to get out of the hands of Cal, it's tough. I think Brazil are against a rock and a hard place, and Canada aren't going to let them go down easy.
It's just figuring out what's the lesser of two evils for this team.
Right.
I think there's definitely more resources to deal with, like in Ana or in Yari, just with the nature of the map and Kiriko existing. I don't think the same can be said for the Ramatra, unless you are so confident in this Ludwig May to shut it down completely, which you did a great job of that before, but we are on a completely different map with different architecture that can make this a bit more tricky to play around. And with that in mind, supports being much more of a threat than they were I do not think you want to invest in that risk too
Quanto é que ele muta?
And just over the safer option, set yourselves up for success because you are down 2 match points, and a loss here pretty much eliminates your chances of moving on into this.
There we go.
Hi.
There we go. Ramatra banned. Just saying, we both called it. Yeah, we're pretty smart like that. Kiriko banned for Team Canada as well. So, you know what? That leads me to believe you could play the Alari too, because you can't cleanse the ult either, or you can just rock the Ana again. Smart ban though from Brazil. Taking away the Ram. Please, Astro, don't smack me in the face for the millionth time. I already have a concussion. My medical bill is too high, boss.
No. That one hurted. Yeah. This is gonna be hard. I think
54. Será que eu não uso isso? 57, não. É peitoral A1, só com o escudo.
Não, precisa de espírito.
Não, tem espírito também.
Exato, pelo menos 30.
Tem 39.
Mas 54 eu não uso ainda não.
Então Strong eu vou jogar fora.
Não, pode guardar, eu uso quando chegar no 54.
Tá bom então.
In this matchup,
100%. On this map, 100%. Supports finally our time in the sun. Apart from Lucio players, unfortunately.
O Brasil pediu pro México escolher o mapa. Tá explicado.
Yeah, exactly.
Por quê?
I'm sorry, main supports.
Não pediu, eles erraram. Eles estão confundindo o Brasil com o México.
We'll see what Brazil want to do with their backline. Could just, again, be the Brig, could be the Juno. Now we're going to see Lucio, as Delicate is still in, and definitely going to play the Sigma.
Ele tá te trollando, basicamente.
Ana, wouldn't mind that at
Não,
all.
não tô trolando.
Mocha,
Tá vendo, né? Eu ia falar, hein?
É que vocês não estão vendo aqui, por isso que não tá entendendo.
You could even play the Mizuki. I think Bab's not a bad option either. But they have got the two demons on the team, the two devils. So
Eu não confio que o Brasil vai ganhar esse mapa, não. Infelizmente. Ai, meu Deus.
Mocha does actually go back and swap back to Mizuki.
I like it.
Eu não achei o mapa desse lugar, caralho.
You're playing against Poke anyway. So it's like you kind of need the AoE healing in a way, and also the Sanctuary. It's so good on corners. So popping it down in the corner, it makes the fight almost unwinnable. As we see Cal, well, they're on Ana. Yeah, back here we play Ana.
Achei que eu tinha achado o mapa.
Alari Ana. Now we're cooking, chat. Oh yes, Alari Ana. Flex support's dream on this map.
Agora o Canadá tá até tipo, foda-se. Qualquer coisa. E a Farah do Canadá já matou o tanque.
Nossa.
The answer was the teleport that was right next to him. Hate to break to you, Molly.
Acabou já. O Brasil acho que já tá sem como fala? Mental destruída já. A Ana tá dançando ali no carrinho. Dando emote.
Yeah,
Chega, não.
you have to swap. That's Nella as well, swapping to the Ana. Okay, there's two players now that can check the
Tá
Farah.
chato.
This is the most defensive angle of all time from the Ana, but you kind of have to be, unfortunately. You don't want to get bombed on the head by Alex, by any stretch of the imagination. And also you take a
Cara falando, peguei uns itens ruinzinhos ali pra vender no... Peguei da stat da guild. Já o cara vai ser banido.
É isso que eu ia falar, e pode isso? Pegar coisa dos outros pra vender?
Não, qualquer mapa que alguém faz consegue mais do que isso.
Look at their health bars, by the way, on Team Brazil. The support players cannot catch a break right now. Also switching over to an Alari themselves, but rock into nade, no hands. Yeah, this is very over this first point. It's tough. It's real tough. If your Farah's hitting rockets long range, if your if your Graveyard, if your Alari is also just playing an aggressive angle, you need instant picks, and you're just not going to get that with the Casti main.
No, they want to get close, and they're on the Reaper, so yeah, you're still going to try to get close to this poke comp, but they just can't take.
Meu Deus, eu tenho a sensação que esse Hydron só afunda. É umas escolhas muito ruins. Vai voltar nele ainda.
Oh my word, they're actually just setting him in. Okay, yeah, one tap and notions like that, you take that.
O que aconteceu? Meu Deus.
Graveyard.
Nada.
Kills Mocha.
Não aconteceu nada.
Hydron, I think the fight's already done, mate, sadly.
Ele
The
levou
flashbang's good for the kill onto Cal, although Team Canada are still in this. They're going to try and chase down the DPS.
morreu.
Ludwig TP's away. Hydron, unfortunately, stuck with
sobre
only his
isso.
feet to work with. As Astro
O
is
Brasil
able to just
tem
to
muito
clean
que
up the
melhorar
fight.
ainda. Boa
I mean, it was a
sorte.
good forward push there onto Cal with the nano, but yeah, that's already finished. And look at the ults Canada have already to save. I mean, eesh.
Still holding on to that flux too is kind of insane. Throughout all of that, Dalka will have it to match. Like, if you can get that with the Captain Sun, sure. Doing that is one thing. You gotta get out of this choke first.
Oh, then yeah, Alex, you got to get out. There's the flux, and already Dalka is down. Overclock to just cement the victory in the fight. Just some extra kills for the
Nossa,
KDA.
destruição
For the KDA.
total.
You gotta boost those stats, you know? Not just really to say I am the better hit scan player here. And yeah, he's gonna get the space to work with too. Already starting that wraparound, leaving Alex.
Whoa. This is a Peggy 12 stream. This is a Peggy 12 stop. You guys, come on now.
What are we doing?
Come on.
What are we doing?
Peggy 12.
Yeah, I don't know after that one, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. And although he managed to reclaim the high ground at a minimum, it will force Noxus back a tad. And just the Captain Sun. Not too engaged though.
Sitting in the skybox with the Captain Sun. Good connection.
wait.
Actually insane. Hits 3. Oh, knocker. What a play. Hits 3,
Foi
plays the
bom, foi
Captain
bom,
Sun.
boa ult.
Dalka steals 2 of those away. That was an insane, big combo actually. The Captain Sun with the Flux, really tough to actually deal with if unless there's a Suzu available. Team Canada though, they're going to be happy both those ults were out. Very high impact ult.
Meu Deus do céu, meu
The fact that
filho!
it's
Acha
like
um
you
lugar
could
pra
see an outline of where that
ficar.
ult was going. That's the only way I can believe Mocha managed to find that angle.
Aí eu seguro ele e ele me morde.
It sets up Team Brazil perfectly. Team Canada pushing through this choke is not easy, and Ludwig will make it even harder.
Nano?
Yep.
Oh, good sleep though.
Barrage, goodbye.
Oh, they're going to barrage him. Oh, the disrespect is crazy from Alex. Good shot as well from Cal, sleeping the Nano
Casta
Reaper.
falando, o desrespeito é grande aqui.
Choke point as soon as
O
they
Canadá
can.
pisando na cara do Brasil.
Yeah.
Oh, the Nano on the far row. Hainu from Hydron ends up pulling the trigger. A 3-man anti as well.
Para
From
tá destruindo outro
But there's
time.
just no follow-up there at all.
Nossa.
The Nano Fire is just way too powerful. A little conk onto the Ana player. They need to clear out Basinella. Graveyard just can't do
O
it.
Brasil só aceita a derrota mesmo.
Ludwig comes in with the snipe kill.
Triste.
Oh, this is scrappy. Looking like team deathmatch all over again, but eventually a semblance of control for Canada as they end up cleaning up the team fight.
The range advantage is just too much, I think, for this team to really fight against. Speaking of range, Hydron on the Widowmaker now. See if he can
Agora o
this
Hydron
is a
pegou o
vintage
Widowmaker.
Hydron play.
Não.
I'm loving this.
throwback.
Okay. Ooh.
There is a shield there.
Shield there. There is a shield. He would, guys. He would have hit the headshot, but the shield was in the way. Ooh. Yeah.
E ele.
healers?
Aí a
Sorry,
nossa
no, we're,
Widowmaker
support
foi
players.
snipado
We don't heal.
pela Ilhari. E morreu.
Caralho, o Widowmaker perdeu pra um Hilari.
Perdeu.
Como é possível? Que humilhação, hein?
É bem
Ali's
humilhante.
on an insane off angle as well. Oh, the nade is so good. Good shot from Hydron. Just whips around the corner there. Does end up killing
Caralho.
Cal, but don't matter. Don't matter. Support's too good. Cal and Graveyard going crazy on that round.
Yeah, I think it's just so difficult to match these two. Canada, one of my concerns when I saw this roster announcement was, how are you going to make this work with the two flex support players? And I think that having
Deixa eu limpar a área em volta, né?
Ana e Yari in such good spots as they
Isso aqui vai ser bom.
and having these two on your side is fantastic. Could that be a problem in the future? Perhaps, but I think for now, it is something they can absolutely roll with. And we're doing it to the highest degree here. Very, very few deaths.
Faz
on
que
the
ela.
other side. I mean, it's been very one-sided. To be totally
Vamos
honest, other than
testando
that
umas
one
coisas
highlight
aqui.
play combo from
Beleza.
Mocha and Delka.
Porque
little
isso que
wing
ajuda?
conditions, little signs of life from this Team Brazil rosters. They gotta get a full completion plus some on this
I mean,
point.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
It is crazy style on a Secret Real, so yeah, it's going to be a tough affair here for Team Brazil. Match point as well for Team Canada, mind you. I would love to see Hydron on Widow.
Se liga aqui.
I would really enjoy it. Hydron,
Tô ligado,
tune in. You can't
220,
not
brother.
play some Widowmaker. Please.
Evento pagou.
Very vintage Hydron. And honestly,
Evento pagou?
like you mentioned, it's not really the DPS in this map at the very least. It is Graveyard
Aí, ó,
Cal. It
pode me dar.
is the supports that are doing
Sim,
Já que eu torci por você, né, mano? Foi o
and
único.
with just the Alari damage from Graveyard. It's looking really good for Team Canada.
Lembre-se disso.
One click on the Genji. Something we saw some shades of yet from, I believe it was Team Mexico, o Melto guy yesterday.
Quando tiver sobrando, eu te dou. Aí, achei mapa.
O que eu ia falar? Achei mais um, mano. Já tava cagado, é isso.
Oh, Ludwig's DC'd. He is DC'd. 100% Ludwig's is DC'd.
Agora um brasileiro desconectou. Caiu.
Eu acho que deu rage kit.
Nossa, deve estar horrível a conexão deles.
Unlucky.
É que é lagado também, né? É lagado pra eles, né?
Sim, mas tá tipo caindo mesmo. Ó, você não vai bater nela, não.
Unlucky. Ludwig's probably DC there or something. Not sure what happened, but
mordendo o fio?
Sim, veio aqui e puxou o fio. Não pode, Hanzo.
Hanzo! Por que você tá fazendo coisa errada? Que coisa feia!
Deixa eu não colocar no baú da guilda sem querer.
I think for Team Brazil, you're okay with a tiny bit of extra chat time, although there might be a bit of panic, like what happened to my DPS player. That's okay. He'll be back, I'm sure. I think this is a very difficult thing to approach, especially from a mental standpoint. This is a now or never kind of thing. You lose this game, your chances of moving past this online qualifier stage are basically zero. So. Once you get Ludwig back in here, we'll see how they can pull this one back together, as it will inevitably be a soft reset for this team.
Yeah, all good. That was thankfully only a small DC, and it happened at the start, so it's all fine. Nothing too crazy there. We'll see if this Genji ends up working out. Like you mentioned, it can work on this map. You are against the pokiest poke comps of all poke comps, so it might be a little tough for Ludwig. It's going to have to really just play on a knife's edge, although killing Graveyard with just some generic shurikens after a nade is going to be a good start.
Yeah, I think Mocha too. We saw that speed ring. Everybody on Brazil rushing forwards, and the panic out of Brazil to get the cooldown. But a wall at the back, perfectly placed.
Oh, the nade from Cal too. Is there going to be a cleanup here? Nothing? I mean, Astro got naded too. Point is 1.69 meters away. Are they going to be able to stall it out? No. Wow, I'm surprised Al could survive that.
Yeah, and hey, you take that. You wanted Brazil to get back into this game. Well, here they are, 5 minutes now. You approach the second point, and, well, the Genji itself hasn't done much. I think the threat of it, plus Mocha just existing on the Juno to get this team into positions fast has paid off, and will get a decent amount of progress forwards, holding on to this high ground. Will eventually come on when the dust settles, and that hurts if you were Team Brazil. That was 4 ultimates that they ended up using at the end, and really only a Dragon Blade and a pretty naked one at that.
Ué, tu fechou a live?
Não, por quê? Fechou?
Acho que bugou aqui pra mim.
I just see this captive sun,
Peraí,
and I
deixa eu
see
abrir
a whole lot of burning pain
É,
for
sumiu.
Brazil. But no, they don't need it. There's another fantastic Maywall of Alex.
Yeah, I mean,
Ah,
actually
voltou.
approaching these
Da
fights
minha
is going to be
Twitch.
so tough against the May. You just can't stick around for too long. You have to just try and force wall out. And there's another stagger. Okay, well, we're resetting, guys.
Please do it. Don't leave the spawn. Just stop leaving the spawn, please. Don't do it.
Witchell, please. Oh, Hydron goes Widow. Yeah, okay, everybody back up.
That'll do it.
Sticking on the Widow? Wait a second here. Hydron, my guy. Ooh, he's looking.
No shield in this space this
Yeah,
time.
not quite.
Nossa, parece bem mais do que da última vez, né?
Grapple shot though.
Parece que a gente pediu metade ontem, né? Faz tempo que ver.
Graveyard dodges out the way.
A gente pediu essa mesma quantia.
Does end up connecting with the backline too, as Mocha dead to right.
Nossa,
As
essa AI é
Graveyard
muito
makes him turn his DP up to 3k to try and spin around and kill the Alari. Didn't quite end up working out. 2 minutes to go now for Team Brazil. Or 240.
I like Ludwig going back onto the May. I think Alex being uncontested on that has been a massive pain for Brazil to have to work through.
Essa é uma compensação pelo atraso de ontem.
Some potential to throw that threat back at them will be very helpful. But the wall still does go up behind Delka and the
Nade
too.
again. Ludwig has got blocks, so should be able to survive. A good rock, though, coming in from Dalka, ends up cancelling that flux. But still, Astro's going to just walk forward. A nano-boosted spheres and a rock straight to Ludwig, insta-kill in the May after the block was used, trying to buy that flux. Easy double as well for the Sojourn, as everybody was already scurrying away. Nice stuff so far from Team Canada. The pacing here, Molly, is just so quick. Brazil just can't keep up.
it's also just rinse and repeat. Canada, they know what their win conditions are. They know how to run these fights. They set up Alex. They make sure Astro is ready to just chuck a boulder at Delka, and it's well over half the time tank already gone. And now for Mazanella, you can throw it on Delka if you need to survive, but you're gonna need it early. Just watch this.
Not a boost for Hydron. Already, this phone line is super low. Thanks to that nade from
Chegar no ouro, os caras colocam no seu pé.
Nade on top too. That's what you need. You need these big nades
o pilar na bunda.
past these walls. Looks like Cal and Graveyard are doing their own bit of work in the back line though. They managed to get all the way behind them. As Graveyard tries to go for another pick. Unsuccessful in their endeavor as Brazil finally win a team fight.
Caralho, o Brasil finalmente ganhou uma luta. Olha,
mas eu peguei do presunto de queijo também.
Canadense, né? Esse é um compridinho. É um desses.
Mas será que é presunto de queijo ou calabresa isso? Eu não pedi de calabresa.
Não deve ser presunto de queijo, tá aí. Ah, não, Dalka vai morrer.
Captive Sun, Dalka's so low too. Captive Sun from around the corner is going to connect with the front line too. And there goes Dalka. Flux wasn't in use though, was just taken to the skies as Graveyard puts himself on an aggressive angle. He's already got a double coup to his name and make that a triple as he takes down Hydron. I'm telling you, it all supports
Meu
this
pote, ele tava full, fui botar, não tinha mais.
Yeah, I think there's so few teams that can actually say that about their support line.
Porque você gastou antes?
In this region in particular, but Canada, far and away one
Não,
of the final
aconteceu,
fight
só
now
apertei
for
sem
Brazil
querer.
to keep themselves alive in this series, in this tournament even.
Esse mapa do Doriane aqui os bazuqueiros é muito cagado, mano, não dá não.
That flux is so early. Oh, and Cal slipped it. Oh, insulting.
Dalka é o iFood do Alex, faz questão de dar pra ele todas as vezes.
And that is just about done. Cal, the Canadian superstar, flexible player, has just done it again. Astro dodges out of the way of the Blizzard as well, happy to take the 1v1 of the staircase, and Dalka accidentally elims themselves with the Hyperspheres. Canada come up big, a 3-1 victory as we end this match. Wow, unbelievable stuff. Brazil with a little bit of teeth on the first map, but it was all Canada all day.
É, semana que vem vai ser acho que o último jogo do Brasil só pra completar ali o que ele tem que jogar e tchau.
Completar mais uma derrota.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we do take this. Even with his Ramatra being banned, happy to run that down on good old Space Grandpa, but that's Team Canada. For everybody, this is kind of what we expected from them.
Não, menos no I6 a gente é bom.
Come out on top of their group and remaining flawless so far with just the one map dropped today. They are on track to do that or at least qualify.
Não sei se o CS Brasil também é bom, mas
pending that last match against Puerto Rico, this support line, a huge threat. This is one great play from Mocha and Dalka here. They kind of made this close, but unfortunately, that was kind of all they had left in the tank, as the rest of the map was just Graveyard.
Graveyard and Cal, a dynamic duo in the support line. I'm excited for Team Canada.
Esse mapa vai tomar no cu, mapa de merda.
On the international stage. I do think as the growth
Porque essas linhas são pequenas também.
will be Canada and the US guaranteed.
Enche fácil de inimigo.
Os caras já me travaram aqui, 5 inimigos aqui.
To see how they do. Canada and the USA have always been kind of
próximo jogo vai ser Colômbia versus Porto Rico.
Curious how they do.
Que fez o Brasil ontem.
Obviously. Team Saudi Arabia still going to be very good, as well as Team Korea as well. We got an interview with Astro in just a moment. But
será que ganha?
Right now, Team Canada chilling at the top
Porto Rico.
Yeah, quite literally. I think they have a lot of things figured out with their team, with their roster.
Eu vou torcer pra Porto Rico perder.
Coaching staff.
Só torce pra perder, né, Tassim?
Pra não ficar com muito ponto.
Mano, vai perder. O Brasil já saiu de qualquer jeito.
Four assistant coaches to back him up there. So many minds put together and clearly.
Que pinga item no chat mesmo?
Pretty crazy hands in Team Canada.
Control Shift, sei lá.
Não, Control Shift
nunca fiz isso.
Control Alt.
What might lie ahead for them in Busan.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be exciting to get back on land. We'll see if Canada end up making it, but it's feeling pretty good right now. All right, let's get Astro in for a quick interview and talk all things Overwatch World Cup. Welcome, Astro. Congratulations on the win, of course, Team Canada. You guys keep doing it to him. That first map looked pretty damn convincing from Team Brazil, but then it was like, well, 3 maps, pretty easy under your belt. How are you guys feeling coming into Overwatch World Cup again? I want to ask, obviously, after that victory, probably feeling pretty good, but your chances at the LAN, how are you feeling about that?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Like, it's been, what, like 3 years now, so I'm just excited to get back into it. And I never got to play, like, in the playoffs or on stage in 2023, so this year, I'm like, that's what I'm, like, rooting for, that's what I'm gunning for. I don't know, I think we're all excited, and, like, we're working really hard to make sure that we can, like, go all the way.
Ah, que porra de bola de fogo é essa? Eu nunca vi essa mecânica no Dorian.
With your chances, I'm feeling like you guys are going to make it with Team USA, of course. But when it comes to your team right now, what are the vibes like? Like, how well have you guys been meshing together? I know a few of you played together and have done in previous, like OWCS, Face It League and stuff like that. But, like, yeah, how are the vibes of the team overall?
I mean, the vibes are really good. Like, we all work really hard, and when we have criticism of each other, like, it's not like taken to heart, you know. Like, we all know that we want to win, so I think if we just like keep that attitude towards our improvement, then there's no way that we just like can't bring it all the way. Like, and I think we have a team with like crazy potential, to be honest. Like, especially with the current like meta, I guess. I don't really know what's meta, but like just with the things that people are playing, like I think we have some really strong Mizuki players, so it was really easy to just like integrate that because like we have some like really flexible players. Even though we have like a double flex support backline, it's been actually pretty easy to like find our identity and like make it work wherever we need to make it work.
Absolutely, and I think with all these strengths heading behind you, like what would it mean to Team Canada to be able to make it?
Nossa, tá muito escuro pra 6 horas assim, né?
É, tá bem escuro.
I mean, it would mean the world. I think like for almost everyone here, like on the team, like we haven't like maybe besides Cal, I think maybe Cal might be the outlier, but no one's actually experienced it, like that first LAN event, so it'd be a first for all of us, and like that's the most memorable one, you know. So it would mean the world, especially to me.
Yeah, and in a place like Korea too. That's would that be your first time in Korea? By any chance?
It would be my first time in
Korea.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Qual
Well, make
jogo?
sure you get, treat you and the team to some seafood. Busan seafood goes crazy, so yeah. Look forward to seeing you guys there, and well, okay, I'm calling it already.
Tá, bosta aqui. O que foi, cara?
Essa bosta de laser do Dorian que daí vai te a merda, cara.
Eu morri uma vez
Good
pra
luck in
ele.
your next few
Eu vou morrer umas
games,
30,
and, yeah,
velho.
congratulations on the
Tô
win
dando
tonight.
0 de
We'll see you
dano.
again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Bye bye.
Pra minha build começar a brincar, eu preciso da próxima ascensão.
For Team Canada. Yeah, good
Qual a
stuff.
segunda?
And first time in Asia as well. Actually,
Não, a
like I
última.
said, if you end up going to the Overwatch World Cup in Busan, yeah, make sure you check out the seafood. It is
Pra eu ter-
crazy. And it's going to be a good time. So hopefully we'll see some
Pra eu
of
ter
you
crítico
there.
infinito.
Don't forget as well, if you want to rep your conference, whether that's EMEA,
tá.
that's Americas, or the Asia region, you can with some of the World Cup skins in the store right now. So you get a little charm,
Pô,
little
desce
portrait
logo aí,
icon,
Dorian.
banner,
Bora,
you get
acelera o
vibes, and you get the
processo,
sick
irmão.
colours too. I will say the
Vai ser
Mizuki
uma
one,
noite
out of these
muito
three,
longa
might
pra
clear,
nós.
but the green Vendetta does go a little crazy style as well.
I love the colors of all of these. There's so many ways that you can support these teams too throughout their journey. So make sure to keep an eye on all that stuff and get your hands on the bundle. I'm personally a purple fan. You know, I might.
Purple equal win. I like that.
Purple does equal win. Makes me
Yeah,
happy.
it's a crowdfunding bundle as well. So some of the proceeds from the bundle, they do end up going towards the prize pool. So yeah, make sure you go support the teams and players, no matter where you are and what bundle you buy.
Ah, é verdade, o
We're gonna
Porto Rico
go
tem o
to a quick break.
McChicken.
Don't go anywhere. Our final match of the day, it is Colombia versus Puerto Rico.
Esse nome é
After this.
sensacional, mano. Que isso? Tô tomando dano pra quê, cara? Eu tava fora da explosão e eu tomei dano, velho.
Foda.
Meu Deus. Morderam minha perna.
Meu Deus, jogou eu assim.
Brasil é freguês da Colômbia no Overwatch, estão falando aqui.
Foda.
Então acho que já é comum o Brasil perder para todos. Porto Rico, Colômbia, Canadá. Tudo.
Decepção. Vergonha, né? É tipo o Brasil no LoL. Porra.
Um pouquinho mais,
O Brasil
né?
no LoL é ruim?
É horroroso.
Tristeza.
Só não perde pra Colômbia porque não tem um time de LoL.
Tipo isso.
Isso é o gato espirrando. Tem gente no chat falando, botar nos países latinos pra brigar entre si.
Mano, esse hitbox é zoado, tá comprovado, mano.
Do Doriane?
É. Das explosões de fogo dele, mano. Eu tava sentadinho ali, só olhando, de boa. O bagulho explodiu, pegou em mim.
Caralho. Eu dei sorte, eu não peguei alguma mecânica dele aí.
Sua sorte é que você tem dano pra passar dele, cara.
Dano é uma palavra muito forte, né? Eu tenho um incômodo ali.
O que tá acontecendo aqui?
Uma irritação.
Of the day, Molly.
Yeah, one more left to go, and this is kind of
You
the
think
one
so?
that we expected to go more maps, and we've already had that delivered 2 out of the 3. We'll see if that can do the same as Colombia coming fresh off an 0-3 loss yesterday against Team Canada. A lot of returners. Well, I say a lot of returners.
Que coisa.
Super Gomez is returning on this roster alongside Changed for that, is accompanied by some of these newer faces in 10th and College who've had a good amount of success in both Faceit Masters and the collegiate side of things on the same team for Cleveland State there. So a lot of previous synergy, but they're going to need quite a hit to go against this rising team that a lot of people have been underestimated in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so we look at the Puerto Rico roster. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's all about the deathmatch 1v1s. And, of course, someone's named McChicken, by the way. Yeah. McChicken won a 3-0 versus Lich, so they'll be taking the higher seed kind of thing. As we see the roster now. McChicken and Talisman, definitely both not playing Tracer there, but, you know, we're not in 2016 anymore. Shane, and Jono to round out the team for Puerto Rico. And yeah, like you mentioned, is a little bit of surprise from South American Overwatch. I think with even going back to that first interview of the day, there's not been a crazy amount of South American players playing at the highest levels in like Overwatch League. So World Cup has always been a place where they get to kind of show up and show people what they're made of. A lot of players playing at the same rank for many, many years at this point know each other, but on the international and like competitive Overwatch stage, a lot of these names are going to be brand new to people.
And I think that's especially true in the case of Puerto Rico. This is a very, very young roster. McChicken, Chain, in particular, all in their first like year of significant competitive experience. I say
O
year,
McChicken aparentemente ganhou o duelo de Baptiste.
Throw it down to, and even getting the 1v1 here with Chicken. 2 DPS players thrown in for this one, by the way. So Team Puerto Rico.
Acho que você quer
who ended up
calabresa, tá?
getting the higher seed there. See what they ended up doing if it was the map.
Talvez tenha mandado errado.
Ban first, but will actually be the ban selected as Colombia will take us to Antarctic Peninsula.
Melhores pessoas chegando no Brasil ganhou.
All right,
Não.
man. It has been mainly Ilios for OWCS.
Ganhou uma humilhação de graça.
However long it's been. I mean, Tokyo was basically all Ilios, it felt like. Oasis, obviously, in the map pool too. Antarctic Peninsula, the round of that. I don't mind, honestly. I think every single stage has... You have the ability to play multiple different comps. I think most teams, if they have a Mei player, they'll probably end up playing Mei. It's not too like Cat Bash-y either, so if you're not comfortable on that comp, it's a very easy choice for yourselves.
And I think that it's like one of the more simpler maps to play. There's not, I think, as many points where you're worried about moving parts. And both these teams like the brawl styles anyway, so you're kind of okay with that. The Mayban from Colombia, followed by a Zarya out of Puerto Rico. The reason the Zarya is out is specifically for Super Gomez, coming back into the scene after a bit of time away, and was one of the teams that forced this hero the most yesterday. Just kind of with that Pat Bastion sort of deal. The Meg, I think that just makes a lot of sense. Talisman had a ton of success on it before, and it's so weird to say that he's the one that's kind of has the veteran experience here at just the young age of, I believe, 20. Young guy here, kind of helping.
Hey, that's getting on Unk.
Oh, yeah.
They're close to being Unk status,
yeah,
unfortunately.
Unk status.
You hit 21, 22, you turn into an Unk in Overwatch, unfortunately. Yeah, don't grow up too fast. It is kind of crazy, like you mentioned, how young some of these rosters are. I mean, I'm thinking back to even 2020. And crazy. Okay, newsflash. That was 6 years ago, everybody. I'm sorry to break it to you. 2020 was 6 years ago. A lot of these players were probably watching Overwatch League, kind of growing up and still playing the game, you know? So their first kind of foray into a competitive environment at this Overwatch World Cup is going to be pretty exciting, and with the chance to go to a LAN too in somewhere like Korea is a pretty crazy thing to do. So we'll see how Puerto Rico and Colombia end up doing in their group, but Puerto Rico are already up a map. Sorry, not up a map. They're up a series already in their group there, so a very good chance to actually make it all the way.
Make or break game for both of these teams, otherwise it will kind of be left out of their controls. Brazil already 0-2. Likely out of contention there, but Puerto Rico can manage to get a win after they got that upset yesterday. That would put them right next to Canada, and I believe confirm their spot within this event, which would be huge for this young roster, as that is a composition of all time, and it may be real, it may not be real. Okay,
no,
if
real. We saw the hog on this, I might have lost my mind. Like, we are not unwell, my guys.
It is
you gotta swap.
Ué.
So there is going to be a cat bash on the side of Puerto Rico here. But, I mean, in Colombia, they're going to just do the, okay, we don't want to play Cat Bastion, and then hopefully Temp can insta-kill people, or at least try and chunk McChicken out of the sky. We'll see. I mean, it's just so tough on this point, though, Molly. Being able to get the Cat Bastion in this kind of spot where there's so much high ground cover is tough.
You don't really have an angle.
Gato Bastion.
Even, boy, there. Oh, this pants down, we'll have to raise out of that one.
Começar a gameplay de gatinho.
O gato foi aqui só pra me Azen.
Super Gomez going very low, already having to back up, but they managed to
Eu tô muito gato aqui já.
Even after that. Good snipe from Temp though. Settles the score, evens things up. It's a 4v4 now as the point is capped from Puerto Rico. Storm doesn't end up connecting, but Chains one definitely did. Super Gomez.
Oh, meu Deus. Vai travar.
Gomez again on the back foot as he's just ran down. There's not much you can do. If you're that far deep in after you use your charge, you are at the whims of the Reaper player.
And I think they're kind of feeling the pain of not having the Zarya there. I think it's...
Nossa, que streamer é essa?
Porcaria, né?
A bit of a switch around now for them as Colombia. I'm gonna take the approach again through these small rooms, giving McChicken as much distance as
TP across to try and create some space, but Here's going to be the Cat Bastion flying through the air. Going to release the Bastion from the clutches of the Cat for the time being, but this is going to be a disruptor shot that's going to force the Bastion back. Overclock for Temp as he tries to find an angle. A nice little stomp crit headshot there from the Super Gomez. Guarantees the kill on the Kiriko. Teleport easily telegraphed by the Sojourn as a very clean fight from Colombia secures them the point.
Shakirão.
O que acontece se ficar nessa luz aqui da sereia, tu sabe, Alan?
Testa aí pra você ver.
Foda. Não vou morrer, não.
Mas não teste aí, cara. Você mata ela de novo.
Ah não, muito trabalho, ela é cheia de mecânica chata.
For the cage, McChicken has to turn 180 there. Lich ends up hitting that Wraith form, but has got the Death Blossom if he wants to use it. Teleporting away from the fighters, both cages end up getting destroyed after those rushes are laid down on the point. Super Gomez going in for a risky stop slam there into the back line. He's just so low, sub 200 HP, still alive somehow. Eventually chunked out by both Talisman and Chain. Oh, that's charging from Super Gomez. Seemed a little bit aggressive. 200 HP plus, I mean, you're not surviving too long.
No, not really much of a chance there. And a bit of a late stagger there too. On Change, buys more time and basically makes this a final fight territory.
Vagabunda.
Puerto Rico and a whole lot of damage out.
Ai, vai voltar a cantar?
Available to them. Sound barrier.
Odeio essa mecânica dela.
Get them to the point, which is more likely at this time. Or to fight through Cat Bastion.
Fica aqui uns 30 segundos cantando.
Os caras vão fazendo você recuperar o pote aí, cara. Tá reclamando.
Olha.
Hang on a second here. They still have the Cat Bastion. There's still a form available. Can they actually close this one out? Is the question.
Tá, do Malga da Colômbia não consegue nem pra frente. Parece eu jogando de Malga.
With the help of Lich, but unfortunately they're a little bit mistimed there. So it will be Puerto Rico getting up to 99%. Final touches? No, not today. Round 1.
Aposto que você seria melhor do que isso.
Não, eu joguei de Malga esses dias. Você não tava nesse dia. Não sei se você já tinha ido dormir ou se você estava jogando outra coisa, mas eu fui jogar o 6v6, sabe aquele dia? Que eu fui jogar 6v6 sozinho?
Eu acho.
Aí eu tive que pegar tanque em uma das partidas, porque ninguém queria ir de tanque.
E carregou de tanque, obviamente.
Não perdemos. Eu fui de Malga e morri.
Mas foi por causa dos outros do time, não por causa de você.
Não sei, mas eu ajudei a perder. De Malga. Mas fazer o quê? Eu não jogo de Malga, né? Fazer o quê? Não sei, não sabia nem que perk comprar, não deu tempo de ler. Horrível.
Não deu, né? Entendi.
Será que o Malga no estádio ficaria muito forte?
Eu acho que sim. Porque provavelmente eles iam fazer tipo Moriza, né? Tipo, ter uma perk de botar fogo em todo mundo.
Vai fazer ele full attack speed, com rápido ele ia atirar.
Nossa, imagina. Com o gato levando a cage indo embora.
With the cardiac overdrive, when you swing in with the Bastion, hit cardiac overdrive, the
Chega,
Bastion's not dying. Like, there's just too much damage and too much healing. It's just so tough for them to take down McChicken. And it will be a point cap in the end.
Mais
but
gosto.
gets extra kill there onto McChicken.
É a gatinha preferida dele.
Ah, esse gato por mim exploda.
É, sei, exploda. Ela olha pra ele com um jeito fofinho e ele já tá abraçando ela.
A próxima vez que ela chegar perto, eu vou jogar ela na cama.
Duvido. Ela tá sendo disciplinada agora. Pelas irmãs. Ela começa a miar, as irmãs dela não gostam. Vai todo mundo atacar ela.
Sneaky beaky, not quite. Yeah, Lich is going to get sniffed out there. Super Gomez also hiding around the corner.
Ela sabe que tá miando de besteira.
A little bit too big of the character model, sadly. He's too thick. All right, Temp, and now you're in trouble. He's going to have to hit that slide away real fast. Got the double slide, but didn't have the second one up. But still trying to find heads to actually click on with this OC. Eventually finds the rest of the team, but a quick teleport away there from Andurb is going to make sure that he gets away. Cat ultimate straight into the front line. Super Gomez knocked to the ground. Easy kill there for Puerto Rico as the Cat is going to come in.
Comes back around to contest the objective here, but And fine, good amount of time is Columbia, which in the form, and it actually buys enough time for most of the team to get back. Changes his rush.
Wow, I'm surprised they actually ended up popping that rush there. There's going to be a stomp again in the front line as Super Gomez gets the kill onto McChicken. As Shane is locked in this Sojourn, they eventually focus him down. The Death Blossom will help kill off Kratos' and Super Gomez too. Talisman to the rescue as Puerto Rico hold on.
Barely there too. I mean, that was a few more shiny buttons than what they wanted to press, but Columbia really made them work for it, but unfortunately they had already lost
Bel, vamos, sai daí.
It was all for naught, and this means that they will be in a dry fight.
Bel e a Pin.
Set them up
E pra gente chegar?
now for Lich especially.
Oh
on
my
its upcoming Death Blossom.
É pra gente chegar pra esse cara aqui o mapa, mas não tem opção.
Sound barrier so early for Kratos. Really think they found at least one pick here. Bastion's on the high ground, so wow, that beat barely gave them any position. Lich has got the ult now. Death Blossom on the point.
Tem 2 mapas aqui, pô.
Mas você precisa de 4 mapas, não é? Nas ilhas?
Mas eu já entreguei vários mapas pra ela.
No chance to get the heal there from the cat who was babysitting the Bastion that whole time. Turret form now from a chicken. Kills one, but it's actually Temp that's flushing up this fight for Columbia. 3 railgun kills for Sojourn and earns himself the ult too.
Yeah, second overclock in just this round alone. Pretty impressive to say the least, and I think somebody that you're going to want to lean into. If not on the Bastion, I think that's why you want to stick him on the Sojourn, because of the pick potential that he can have. You're going to be looking to him for this next engagement. Especially when you see Jono taking the chicken, a bit of a sky journey.
Tô brincando. Ele com a boca cheia. O quê?
Talisman bringing up the rear, making sure no one can shoot McChicken in the back. They're going to play for the final fight because we are up to like 90%. Temp's going to use this overclock, spots both players on this high ground here. It's getting taken down by Talisman anyway, but they've already lost their cat. In fact, both supports are already dead. Lich kills both of them, and now Bastion instantly goes to the turret form to try and stay alive, but Columbia look like they're going to win this round of these. Lich coming up with the kill instantly onto the cat, and then up as well.
Outro para falar com o
that Columbia needs. Nice Suzu as well, stops the kidnap going in. There's the cage, doesn't trap the cat, but they don't need it. So that'll be a round over, and we're going to point number 3 here on Tactic Peninsula.
I like to see it. DPS duo, Lich and Temp putting Columbia in their backpacks for at least this round. It did reel in Super Gomez a little, I think, on this last point, which certainly helped to that degree. But heading on to this point, I think it's a little harder just to get the Reaper online, since you're not necessarily as close as you are. Lots more open space for you to be worried about. Just on
agora sim.
I don't think we're going to see any hero swaps, though. I think both teams are very confident in their own play styles. Have been running so far. I'll leave it up to this to go ahead and be the time breaker. Columbia really leaning into yes, they're going to continue to do so for round number 3.
Bastion again, no shocks here.
Um tempero, viu?
Nice map too. I mean, being able to swing around this high ground is really nice. In fact, they take height really early. Although with the map changes, taking the ramp isn't as bad. That used to be probably the most claustrophobic point on any map, holding that ramp prior to the changes. Going to go for a stomp in the front line is Shane. As McChicken bringing his cat to get an angle as he just shoots the wall. All good though. Nice attempted Sam. This is a really good amount of defense here coming through from Chain, basically acting as like a brick wall or a wall of meat to make sure McChicken doesn't get jumped on. Another charge through from Chain, gets out of the way. Sub 100 though, ends up going super low to actually literable people, but healed up eventually.
He's almost like Chain is playing Valga, like Diva, in a way. Defensively to cover the team, this fight for the point is still very much a toss-up.
Bom, contra Malga o pessoal gosta de Reaper, né? Porque dá bastante dano e quando prende na gaiola, você ulta.
It does hit Super Gomez, but it will be the non-Bastion team actually taking this fight win and the point. I say fight win, no one's actually really died, so it's just complete neutral warfare right now.
Columbia, I'm just happy to play this game.
Aí pede pra falar com ela, mas não tem nada pra falar.
For the most part, just chasing Chain around the map, but as the ultimate starts to come online, that's going to tell a different story, especially so for Gomez way ahead of Chain.
Oh, Chain is so low, goes for late stomp, gets stunned as well, although that Suzu instantly as soon as he hit that stomp ends up. Oh, but Lich!
Okay.
Wait in the cage! Just walked in, gets 3 just like that. Okay.
Yeah, they just go ahead and chuck Puerto Rico.
Será que saindo pro personagem voltando ele
for sure. And that's actually
normaliza?
enough for them to swap off the
Talvez.
Cat Bastion entirely. McChicken, it's actually dipping Hydron yesterday a bit on the hit scan, so I'm excited to see what he has to
Ah, tá quase caindo lá na cama.
On a hot streak of his own. Puerto
Se
Rico,
eu
though,
puxar, ela vai
do
levantar
have
dali.
their own page set. Awesome combo. They go ahead and pull out, but Lich is already in.
Yeah, Lynch, Donk walking in the back line. There will be a Death Blossom on the other side of things, but that sound barrier coming in clutch for Kratos-san. Ends up hitting pretty much everybody there as they end up surviving not only the cage, but that Death Blossom as well. Really nice stuff. Reactionary play required there for the Lucio, but that was a
A gente
perfect
perde amanhã não, semana que vem a
And
gente
that's
perde
kind
pra
of the thing
Colômbia.
with Puerto Rico swapping their composition as late as they did. You're heading into this last flight now.
Puerto Rico era o mais
Real
bobinho, eu
offense
acho.
main, you're likely not gonna
Nossa.
get up to this fate.
Caralho.
This time, and you're gonna have
Brasil é
to
uma
face
merda.
check a Kitsune Rush, which against Amalga
What?
is
É, não adianta
now
nada.
McChicken.
You can't be
Vamos
dying
ver
like
se quando
that
eu
on this,
voltar
in this final fight.
do mapa lá, ele...
There's a rush available. They're just waiting this one out. Like, they can late touch. Like,
Cara,
the
o personagem bugou, vai ter que criar outro.
There will be a touch from the Reaper, but a rush is going to make sure it's going to be tough for Puerto Rico to get back onto this point. As soon as with the front line, Subidomis does end up going pretty low, but it is
Mas eu preciso ir pra...
first. Now the no front line for Puerto Rico is going to hurt. Lich teleporting to the back line, forcing the carry to TP, earn himself a Death Blossom as well, right on top of their heads, bouncing on it. 2 of them dead, and that will be that. Colombia with a 2-0 on map 2-1, sorry, on map number 1.
Yeah, and a great start for this team, knowing the importance of this match in particular, keeping their chances alive within the Group A side of things, and it didn't make it a lot closer. I think that's what we expected between these two teams.
Eles colocam CO, né, como...
Also having
Aí
clean
fica,
answers,
tá no chat, vamos cocô,
Puerto
vamos
Rico
cocô, que rico,
didn't
cocô,
find too
cocô.
much success out of it, other than the first couple of fights we saw back on Icebreaker, but again, good part of this was, again, Temp, Lich, kind of working together between this Reaper Sojourn to make it so difficult for this
Tem
Puerto Rico
refúgio.
team to take the space that they needed to.
That's a lot of limbs. 27 and 4 was that? Like 16k damage? Not bad. Oh, the classic. I will say the cat ult is one of the funnier ults in the game at this moment in time. I love seeing highlights of people getting dragged off the map. It's even better when it's Amalga, to be honest, or any tank. Just like getting owned by the cat is just so funny. I think with how they've done here, we'll see if Control is still a fraudulent game type. Does tend to be. We'll see if Puerto Rico can come back, because people are expecting Puerto Rico to win this series.
Colômbia fazendo
But,
mais pelos
you know,
brasileiros que o
Colombia,
próprio
they got some
Brasil.
fire in their bellies.
You know, it's actually Puerto Rico, I think, that was predicted to come out at the bottom of this group. That narrative only changed after their match win against Brazil yesterday. That turned out to be a win, because they are that second seed coming in from the Conference Cup. Colombia, an invited team of more established veterans, and it was kind of it was a toss-up. Was it a fluke? Was Brazil just having an off day? How strong is this Puerto Rico roster actually? And I think that they do have a lot of good signs to look out for, especially in individual mechanics, like from Chicken and other things like that. But I think having the Mayban there is a bit rough. It's been a key part of their playstyle. And then Colombia, just overall, Lich and what we got to see from Temp was way too overwhelming for them to walk through. Kept getting picked off early and couldn't take the flights that they needed to.
Yeah, we'll see if Puerto Rico can make it a clean map 2. We're going to Runa Sapi as our next one. We'll see if that narrative can continue for them, or will Colombia end up kind of springing a little sneaky trap on them? They need to be able to take this one, though. Molly, you mentioned it at the top of this series, but going 0-2, the fate is out of your hands at that point some of the time. So they need to at least clutch up and get 1-1 to make it out of the group, make it all the way to, out of the group, and then make it to Busan. But map number 2, chosen by Puerto Rico. We'll see what their ban is.
Yeah, I think Runasapi, solid map overall. There's a lot of things that you can do here. But yeah, I think these are making a bit more sense. Puerto Rico done with their own Cat Bastion experiment, and that is understandable. But the Reaper being banned from Colombia is almost a bit surprising, considering the success that we saw Lich have on that particular hero. Maybe something that's more frontline heavy that they don't want to have shut down is perhaps what I'm thinking.
Yeah, with both tank players as well, just happy to play the Malga. You're going to be a little bit more free. I see where the DPS end up opting to go to. You know, Puerto Rico banning this cat. It's like, okay, we take this game type specifically off the map. Runasapi, one of the better cat bastion maps, and then we get rid of the cat hand here. So Colombia don't really have an opportunity to now choose this one unless we go crazy and we reset the maps in a map number 6, but that's very unlikely to happen. Draws very rare in this time in Overwatch's history. But Runasapi is definitely one that stretches the tank hero pool too. There's a lot you can play here. You can just default to the Malga if you want to, but you know, you got to flex on them a little bit. We'll see if even a Sigma ends up coming out here as well.
Yeah, we didn't really see Sigma from either of these tank players as of yesterday.
Right.
Neither are they really known for it. Chain is more of your typical round tank players, and more of the I'm in your face kind, not the poke variety. So it's in his hero pool for sure, but it would be a stretch. Same with Super Gomez. I'm not going to be shocked if we just run back the Malga for the entirety of the series unless it is banned. It's more of these DPS picks that I think I am interested in. The Sojourn Mirror, but Talisman going over to the Tracer, and you know, he is definitely a player that if he is left unchecked here, it'll be a massive issue for Colombia if they kind of let him run wild for too long. They want to focus on that front to back, with Lich instead being on the Mei.
Yeah, front to back Overwatch. We'll see how well Chain can stand up, but like you mentioned, I think it's a perfect point there. Talisman, you have to be as annoying as possible, forcing out this Kiri Swift Step, and then trying to make a play off of that. You send Chain in with a Stomp. We'll see how well Talisman does, because obviously, historically, Mei against the Tracer. The Mei, if they're a good shot, your Tracer is not going to last too long, but a good railgun to start us off. The Suzu, though, to heal everybody back up. Here comes the wall as Chain tries to make a swift escape, but unfortunately, it's 10 feet under now as Super Gomez chases him down.
It's kind of the difference of having the Mei here, unless Talisman is getting an insane amount of value out of this backline. Just kind of put a wall at the back of Chain, and there's not much that you can do to support him on the other side. So, pretty textbook from Colombia so far. Look at this one moving on. Talisman,
Começar a rodada.
on this backline, able to...
tipo, a Sojourn do time tá com 27 e a Tracer tá com 62.
I think Talisman's going to have to swap. This comp is just so unforgiving for the Tracer. Like, who do you, like, latch yourself onto? Maybe the Sojourn, like, maybe the Lucio Kiri, but the Mei, and like you mentioned, is so front to back. It's so tough for Talisman to get things done. Opening up with a kill, though, onto Kratos. No more speed now for Colombia, so it's going to make Talisman's life a little bit easier. And this is where the Tracer really comes into form, is cleanup. But actually getting to that point sometimes is hard. We'll see if Colombia can come back in this one, but a fairly decent fight for Puerto Rico.
You don't really have that same initiative power or just the threat looming over your head of the Mei. It makes Chain's life a lot harder, makes Puerto Rico's life as a whole a lot harder. So Talisman, again, has to do some seriously crazy things to get the full value out of it. Looks like Colombia looks to approach from the side to this point, flipping the map in Puerto Rico entirely.
Got this rush as well. A little bit early on, too. If you're expecting Andub to have it at the same time, maybe pop it here on this stretch, try and force it out. Are they going to pop the overclock versus McChicken? Cage ends up getting put onto the point. Is Chain way too far up? I mean, that is a disaster in the front line for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, this is just turning from bad to worse. I think you're having Chain go in too far. You don't have the same support as you do for the Reaper. Fast to clean up, and yeah, this
you gotta change the Tracer. It's just not gonna work. I think the Mei is just too good. It really is. Like, Chain can't make a play. If you're the Malga, you're like sitting there. It's real tough.
And it's not like Talisman doesn't play Mei either. Like, it's been his most played hero this tournament, and it's arguably his second best if he would make that change. But clearly Puerto Rico have some sort of strange confidence in it, sticking it as long as they have.
Missed pulse. I mean, doesn't got it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if the rest of Colombia end up being able to back out here. Super Gomez ended up falling. Very late beat here for Puerto Rico. Might end up regretting that one a little bit. McChicken ends up getting a double on the Sojourn. Fight's pretty much done at this point. Just Temp dying on the payload. The beat kind of guaranteed the fight there, but again, I kind of worry for of Puerto Rico now. They're gonna have to fight into a beat Blizzard.
Como será que eu peguei isso aqui?
He's dead. I'm gonna put it out there.
Tá marcado, não.
That Blizzard is going right on your little head.
Ué, aí é foda.
It's gonna be an instant drop the cage and run out of there.
Se eu não me engano, é tipo numa concha que você
That's
pega
really
esse
Puerto
bagulho
Rico's
aí.
only win con. Heading into this part
Lá
of
na
the map,
sereia,
it's
né?
arguably
Que é uma...
difficult to get through. There's the cage, there's the
There it is.
blizzard,
Então, não sei
and
qual
there
é.
he goes.
Okay. You know what? Actually, insane bait. Yeah, save the charge. Get out
Eu,
of there.
eu passei pelos 3 testes já. Eu não sei, eu achei que eu só tinha que descer depois. Será que é aqui? Ah, aqui, ó. Achei o salão que eu vou ganhar.
Puerto Rico, at the end of the day, they are the ones that have to push. So playing on this corner for Colombia, it's like, okay, well, just make a play, I guess. Well, okay, Colombia made the play themselves. Literally with a nice headshot there onto Mook Chicken. They're going to wall chain off. Doesn't end up using that charge to try and get away. Cardiac
Mana máxima aumentada em
but Team Colombia are
5%.
just dominating them right now in this front line. Its back to front is just so good. And guess what? They saved the beat.
They did. And Gredison's had this for what, 3-ish fights now, and he hasn't really had a need to use it. And we'll get close to the forward spawns as well. Talisman, yeah, has a pulse bomb. Yeah, lurking. Will it get anything? Probably not, unless you get it on like Soldier. But yeah, I mean, Colombia will win
Vou dar uma
this
olhada.
battle every time you gotta use it here.
Oh, no, he missed.
Mas acho que não.
Molly straight up curse and Talisman. You
Sorry,
never would have
Thomas.
guessed it, huh?
Sorry.
Yeah, unlucky. Yeah, and even if you get it on the Soj, right, there is a Suzu, so... Well, there's the OC, that rush, and the sound barrier. Lads, we've overlaid our support ultimates. Might be fine, though. Chain ends up going down anyway, and getting a very far push here is going to be all for the better for the push bank here of Colombia. Oh, dearie me. Puerto Rico. Small change up here. Orisa? Jacob the Orisa against the Malga. Don't hate it, but the lead that they're gaining now is quite stupendous.
It's not the change-up we were expecting, that's for sure. And Colombia will have control of this high ground area. Just chuck temp on and off angle as we overclock it. All chain can do poke damage. Spear might help disrupt, but not gonna do too much still against Malga being Okay.
Oh, Mook Chicken. Threw that one out with the rapper still attached to it. That was a disgusting swing there from Temp. All right, well, that's the fight done. Yeah, the Tracer barely getting any damage in there as Colombia 100 meters plus as they march on to victory.
You know what? Puerto Rico, they swapped. They did it. Talisman is on the main. There's a chance, and it puts pressure on a Super Gomez. He's not taking this free space to match the front to back. Plus, you have a huge advantage in support ults. Because Colombia might have overlapped theirs in the previous fight, and absolutely something Puerto Rico needs to make work.
Bit easier for Change to survive as well with the amount of survivability tools with the Orisa. But unfortunately, Talisman, the change came in, but the kunais are still hitting his little head. And well, Anderps are behind them, just trying to heal Chain up. Sound Barrier comes in, does it for, sustains them, and they try and just leap on the front line, but there's just a better beat here for Kratos Sun. I'm just going bad to worse here for Puerto Rico. They are getting absolutely dominated. I mean, maybe we need to up the age rating on the stream. We needed to up it a couple of series ago. This is going to be a Peggy 16 type angle here. Colombia are going to dunk this one in by the looks of things. If a few more picks end up coming through from Puerto Rico, they might be able to hold on, but we're at 143 meters. Avril Theory in effect. No checkpoint here for Puerto Rico either as they finally win a team fight.
What cost in 2.5 minutes, and we're looking at pretty much impossible. As I said, Avril Theory applied, and Puerto Rico got ultimates to chain together, no pun intended, but what is that going to amount to? You need to stretch that to last like 5 or 6 fights at an absolute minimum. Colombia still have a Kitsune Rush. They could just run at you right here, and I can tell that they're thinking about it with the positioning they already have set up.
We've seen some of the greatest comebacks in Overwatch history on this map. Is it going to be the same thing? Terror Surge connects with 2 players. Instant block and a nice wall as well. A headshot from Mook Chicken as he shuts down Temp. Okay, well, there's a couple of ults burned from Puerto Rico, but like you said, there is going to have to be a stretching of the ultimate economy here. Just try and only use one to get things done. Colombia, on the other hand, by the way, Molly, can just dump in ults if they need to. They can dump 2. It doesn't really matter for them because the checkpoint hasn't even been reached.
Blizzard might help with the cage fight, but everything else, good luck, Puerto Rico. They are going to need it as temp. Just rips Jono's head off.
Yeah, goodbye. Unfortunately, the Lucio a little bit too out in the open. Talisman goes down. Nice overclock kills 2 from temp. That'll be that. 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Well, I'm an optimist. Puerto Rico didn't use any ults, but there. That's something. So much more distance to stretch.
You're the biggest optimist in Overwatch spotted.
And,
yeah, 1 minute to go.
Yeah.
90 meters behind.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I want to give them something. It is a growing, developing team. Colombia, better in experience, and it really is showing in terms of the macro and the ult economy.
Well, they're going to try and wall off Super Gomez. Ends up charging out stage right. 40 seconds to go in the time bank. Resetting on this high ground. They're just going to wait for the ult dump, I think. Cage available. There's the Blizzard straight on top of it. Oh, they're going to charge out of it. Wait, what? 10?
Where?
Oh, I get booped off by Mega, I guess? I mean, sure. Good opening pick, I suppose. A lot of the damage now negated as Colombia lose one of their DPS. That's one way to start things off as the OT eventually approaches in a couple of moments. Super Gomez standing up to the mic
São os pro players que temos hoje em dia.
The Arista, sorry. Still so very low, eventually taken down, but now we're in an OT situation with a double support ult for Colombia.
Yeah, that's that. You know, the optimist in me. You know, this might be a little too much. We're hitting that point. Colombia have so much to be able to work with. Lich can just chuck this on the point. Rush there. You got the sound barrier, and there's already a May wall to track them in.
Well, I said.
Oh, we're playing Tiny Overwatch today, ladies and gentlemen. Jono's already dead. Here's the rush as well. It's just too much. There's just too much damage. There's too much sustain. Critical ends are going down.
Mas uma
Blizzard is going to completely split the team fight. It has gone from
Não,
bad
tô
to
procurando lugar
worse
aqui
here
do
for
mapa.
Puerto Rico. Colombia are going to take this second map. A 2-0 lead
Que não
in the
faz
series.
sentido.
Match point as well. As Puerto Rico staring down the barrel here of a 1-on-1 as their record after this one. This is, yeah, that was not close, Molly. I don't know how to paint that one. It wasn't pretty.
You know, out of all of the games today, there's no way this is about to be the sweep, right? That's kind of crazy to me. If this is what managed to be pulled off. In Colombia's defense, one match they had yesterday was against Team Canada. I don't think they got a true showing of what they had to offer.
True.
But yeah, and this was tough. I think from start to finish. Stats, they don't look terribly far apart, but I think it just comes down to, especially in Super Gomez and Lich, having the Tracer for far too long. The lead that Colombia got, it just could not be stopped by the point those changes were made. It's just too late to reverse the damage.
Name some of the greatest Tracer players to ever live. Proper. Profit. You need that kind of like, well, yeah. Liam doesn't start with P apparently, so your Tracer can't be of all time. But look, like you said, you need to switch off the Tracer a little bit earlier there, or you need like impact kills like every single fight. You need to pick people off like every single fight. You need to force that Kiri to TP. You need to even force the Suzu. You need to force something. It just felt without the Mei, there was nothing really Talisman can do. And we didn't see any pulse kills either. So yeah, a little late on the change, but you know what? You're still in the series. You haven't gone down just yet. It does require a reverse sweep. A tall ask in Overwatch, but still, it is available.
Yeah, I mean, the option is there. In Puerto Rico, it just seems like there's some choices about... And this
Tem lugar que eu não tô vendo uma passagem.
Not swapping off of that in time comes back to bite them. They're a little too hesitant to make these
Será que é lá embaixo mesmo?
Realizing when something isn't working, and because of that, it sets them so far behind in these moments, and you don't really have much more rope that you can give away here. You're running out match point for Colombia. And one more map pick to make this one work. Reaper will be back in the fray, along with I even forgot what the other band is. Jetpack Cat, if we want to do that again, which I highly doubt based on how map 1 went. This is looking like a tough battle for Puerto Rico, if they're even going to take a map at this point.
Yeah, oh man, it just doesn't feel like it, does it? New Junk City is the bat pick for Puerto Rico. Jetpack Cat can be played, but we're probably going to see a little bit more, again, front to back, or a little bit of rush, maybe. Can still play Lucio, little Reaper guy, can play the Mei, of course. If you want to go full DGen, you can play the Sim Mei as well.
Yeah, Sim, I don't know. Mei, definitely. I think there's no doubt in my mind that we will see a Mei on this map unless it is banned again, which I believe it would have to be Puerto Rico to ban, if I'm not mistaken. Which is honestly possible considering how that last map went. But, it's just going to come down to these Maugas, likely some sort of Reaper. We're going to get brawly with it, just how it be. I don't know if we have any level caliber players to pull out some shenanigans with the Ana, but
yeah, we're not seeing that, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is same old Puerto Rico. Can they figure out their own theory to do this? Because these compositions are going to look very similar to what they have.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Malga again, unless that's banned as well. So, yeah, some Brawl. We're so back with Brawl. It's a map. It's probably one of the better maps in the pool to do it on, to be fair. Because on Survivor as well, you can play dive, like you can play ball, you can play sig. Like there are lots of angles for Survivor, but New Junk City, just the way the points are laid out, as actually we see Malcolm ban. So okay, Ramatra, I think is going to be the next port of call here. Mizuki ban for Colombia.
Okay, that is maybe they're expecting something
Gosta
that's
muito dele, né?
more mobile, or maybe they want to play the
Não gosto não, quando cai esse mapa eu quero...
We'll see. I think the Malga ban, I guess, makes sense for Chain. I know him for 3 heroes. It is Malga, Ramatra, and Roadhog. And it can't be Malga. Like, we better not see a Roadhog, so it's probably going to be the Ramatra. In this instance, Super Gomez play that one to a high caliber as well. Still have the May, still have the Reaper as options, so unless somebody decides to swap it out with Symmetra, it is going to be this front-to-back macro-heavy battle.
Eu sou muito troll.
Talvez pouco afobado só.
Yeah, unfortunately there's no...
Eu achei que aqui que era o boss mamaco. Mas aqui é a última tatuagem.
Isso. We're only seeing that guy on well, so Ramatra, yeah.
Tá tudo bem, cara.
The next port of call. We'll see if Talisman ends up jumping over to Tracer, but it's got to be, especially after the last match.
Você tá... Morri.
You just have to give
Você tá upando aí?
You have to give into the
Tô upando o eFootball aqui.
Because first
Caralho.
it can just be dictated by one wall. Like, if you hit a good wall as they come
Com preguiça, eu preciso fazer mudar os itens pra fazer o Dorian, senão eu não vou conseguir.
Não.
Eu tô com preguiça de ficar buscando no mercado.
É, só procurar uma arminha melhor, acabou, cara.
Que arma, cara? Eu tô tomando dano, não é meu dano o problema, não. Tô jogando que nem a primeira season. Tomo um hit e eu morro.
Foda.
I think for Puerto Rico, again, a very developing country.
Pronto.
This is only their second time competing.
Agora sim, peguei a última resistência.
As a team,
Mazuki e Mágoa.
Definitely one of the younger ones.
Que?
O cara escreveu no chat. Colombia, they're coming fresh off a BlizzCon appearance or top 12 there, so it would be a big deal for them to make it all the way back, and a must-win game. Puerto Rico, if you lose this, it's not the end of the world, even if you have to play Canada for the win. Whereas Colombia, you absolutely need to come away with a victory here. They're on pace to do it, as it is the Ramatras locked in for both of the tanks as of now. Talisman back on May. That makes many people very, very happy to be able to see that one pulled out. Chain? Sigma? I don't hate it, but I think just this team has struggled with the rotations. Chain has been left on an island a lot. That seriously needs to be reeled in if you are going to take this disadvantaged take matchup.
Two very different looks, yeah. May with the Sig, so very slow poke, but Colombia are going to try and off-angle as much as possible with this Reaper guy. So we have Temp on this high ground top right, and then Reaper is just going to try and peddle a kill on another angle. So they're slowly rotating, but it's going to be up to Puerto Rico to be on their best behavior, be on their toes, make sure the Reaper cannot get a flank on them. Looks like Colombia actually, the plan is just to put pressure on the point first. I actually really like this. Force someone down from Puerto Rico, and it's actually Talisman that hits the ground, run in onto the point, but a headshot from Chicken takes down Charge. You couldn't ask for a better start there.
And that is the worst first pick that you could have if you are Colombia. very little sustain left remaining at that point in time. So, again, good idea in
Easy
theory,
boss.
With Lich forcing close-range combat on the point, but will not pay off with just some raw mechanical skill from McChicken. And they played the ring around the Rosie well. They didn't let the Reaper go crazy, and you kept Chain on a leash, at least for that time period. So, Puerto Rico set up now on this defense. You can play to Talisman's May, which, mind you, Colombia are opting to take the Reaper instead of the May here. So, a little more advantage, but you sniffed out.
Peace.
That was a TP. Whoa, okay. That was a TP into 4 players on the enemy team, but still had the shift. Could have got rocked, though, if they... Chain had good timing there. Oh, here comes the point pressure now for Colombia. Lich goes really low. Blizzard on the point. Talisman, insta-block, insta-out of it. And an instant kill onto Super Gomez, or at least they're trying to. Crossing the arms right now. That damage reduction coming into full effect for Super Gomez. Temp now trying to bridge the gap in terms of these kills as McChicken takes an OC headshot. As Colombia now in control.
If you get that trade on a Super Gomez, that goes so differently, but it's Ramontra holding his arms over his head. You are not killing him.
Ah, eu vou levar esse negócio aqui. Já volto.
Looking at him there. With final fight territory for Puerto Rico, as they are going to walk
What is my May doing?
with quite a bit. Talisman is on an angle.
What is my May?
This is not where May goes. He's playing Tracer, like, vicariously through May.
Yeah, actually. Well, they're going to get spotted out by the Sojourn. That's a really early war usage, too. That kind of blows, to be honest. Temp just, swings around the wall and kills Talisman. Well, they end up killing the Lucio, I suppose, so that's going to be good for a 1-for-1 trade. Flux and a nice Suzu saves Gomez, Super Gomez, from any incoming damage. And now the point's going to get pressured by Puerto Rico. Both rushes on the point, and now the rush can go a little bit crazy style. Going to pop the Annihilation on the point. Chains hits a nice rock, but still has his arms crossed to take as little damage as humanly possible. Chains missed another rock there on to the Reaper, meaning Colombia now in control of the point at 99. Puerto Rico needs to come up with a kill. The sound barrier, though, is just too much. A very early one for Puerto Rico to try and sustain them through it. They needed to win off of that. But unfortunately, it's not to be. And that will be the first point going over to Colombia.
Close, but some shenanigans will end up coming back to bite Puerto Rico there at the end of it. So,
Quem foi quem?
I think the idea was there. You wanted to get Jono in with the sound barrier going. Kratos' son had just died. No sound barrier match. Didn't have the damage output to actually those final blows. So next point it is nothing for Puerto Rico to work with.
Manguezal descalço com o chinelo dele.
For Lich, you see how much value he's gotten out of that. He's likely going for the edge.
Oh, I was waiting for the death box,
ele tá perdido.
Ted with a nice railgun heady onto
Eu não. Cheguei agora em casa. É sempre assim. Sempre chegou agora.
Kind of a delight to watch. Good social players. Honestly, second to none in Overwatch. I'll say it. One of the funnest DPS to watch of all time.
Você tá falando de novo, cara.
He's just one of those players that can make it look so easy. And for a while, especially in the collegiate scene, he's always stood out as one of those aimers. Him and Lich both being on that Cleveland State roster to have that existing synergy. And we've kind of seen that in how the pitches are occurring pretty darn well for this team. But Puerto Rico going in already no Mayblock for Talisman, which is
Interlude or Prelude?
Interlude.
Do they check the box is the big question. Hang on a second.
Nope.
Wait a moment. They don't know. They didn't check the box, but oh, there's no one there. All good though. I'll just run the ram, I guess. Instant teleport, good headshot, nice wall as well. Almost stops this from getting away. Blizzard ends up coming in. It's going to be a freeze on to Super Gomez, you'd imagine, but he actually just ends up running away. Like this little boop there actually sets up McChicken with a perfect kill. Annihilation from Super Gomez. He just runs through the front line. The Annihilation too good. Steak too juicy. Super Gomez with a double kill already. Make that a triple. Make that a quad kill, in fact. Super Gomez laying waste to Puerto Rico as they claim this next point. There's no chance Puerto Rico touch here.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, they had the chance. The Suzu was forced, but all it takes is a Ramontra with Annihilation to pick up the pieces of a broken fight in Colombia.
And one point away, by the way.
Yeah, one more map point, match point, all of the above right now. Puerto Rico, one last stand is all they get here on this New Jug City map within the series, and which has not used the Death Blossom left either. And he won't have a corner to set up around this time, although he's definitely going to find one with the little time that is left. Oh, there we go.
This is the most ranked Reaper gameplay of all time.
I love this.
Honestly, it works out though.
Yeah.
Little TP, little Death Blossom, you know the vibes. There he is, straight into the back. Hello, what's up? Didn't check behind you, did you? Nice little Suzu there as well. Ends up saving the day. Lich needs to get away though. And the chaos unfolds as soon as everybody turns their back, Super Gomez, gloves on, haymakers being thrown into the front line. Such an easy fight there.
Okay.
Little bag too. Woo.
All right, Super Gomez. We see it. And yeah, it's such a veteran player. You can tell that exactly what this game plan is. Lich, yeah, he's extraction. And they are even more concerned about him because he hasn't used Death Blossom in, like, at all, actually. So,
there he goes again. Look, they're checking him this time.
Yeah.
Okay, finally they go for the check. Yeah. Spy check, done. Yep. Lich, out of there.
So, not something you do in this game too often, but it counts here.
They really need it. Oh. Charge so close to going down. Took a railgun headshot, or the body shot even. The sound barrier is just too good for both teams, in fact. As this tries to put him in a spot where he can just wreak havoc with the Reaper. Nice annihilation though. Shuts down the carry player for Colombia. Chain can't connect with another kill. Super Gomez eventually fell. Finally. Oh, the CB!
Speaking of falling.
All good. We're chilling. Don't panic.
No, definitely not. I was cool as a cucumber. Is that what they say? I don't know. That might be.
I think so. When are cucumbers ever cool?
That's what I'm saying.
In the fridge?
Do we put cucumbers in the fridge now? Is that a thing? Do that?
Yeah. Wait, you don't put yours in the. Hold on.
No. Wait, you put cucumbers in the fridge?
Okay, chat, back me up. You put cucumbers in the fridge, right?
I'll just leave mine on the counter.
Do you leave them out?
Yeah,
You're a crazy.
I have like a
she might be the
bowl of vegetables.
You're
and
crazy.
Fruit.
Yeah. Okay, we're not getting into this. They're about to win. All right, Chove is just going to run forward now with his OC straight into the backline. In fact, a nice little headshot onto Anda, who'll take him down. I think it was like a bit of a collapse damage too. Nice little counter rotation though. As Trainer McChicken ended up coming up with kills. Super Gomez with the annihilation only deals a little bit of damage to the front line. Point taken down though for Colombia, but they're losing members here. Can Lich actually stay alive? A little bit too smarmy with it on the Lucio. As a what is this? What was that? Death Blossom. That was Death Blossom I've ever seen. Okay, well, unfortunately though for Super Gomez, doesn't end up getting taken down by the Nemesis form of Chain. They end up getting the reflip there, 99% for Colombia.
That is incredible that they clutched that up with how many things just went wrong for Puerto Rico. But they're going to fight another day, and they're going to have both support ults, which is...
As well, this should just steal the deal. You're thinking, like you said, Colombia don't have any ults at all. Both support ults to guarantee this point. Don't think you needed the sound barrier, but if you in this kind of situation, it's best to use it just in case. But look at Colombia just springboarding back in. Crimson's going to have beat in a couple of moments as well. A giant fumble from Puerto Rico here as they can't clean up the fight. Wow. Crimson with 99% gets shut down by Talisman though, as Super Gomez ends up falling over to the annihilation of Puerto Rico. Not quite fumbling just yet.
Tinha que acabar agora o jogo, mas não vai acabar não.
As Puerto Rico clutch up at 99 to stick in this
vai ter
game.
mais round
that was so much more than what they should have needed to commit, but I mean, they 3 ults to 0 and they still almost lost that fight. That is, I think, a red flag going forwards and leaves you with very few tools on this next point of Ducks with only this overclock where McChicken is not been finding too much value with it. And besides, you still have the sound barrier from Kratos' son to pop out if you need to. It isn't that scary. This priority positioning over to Columbia's Lich again on his little corner camping adventure.
Please, someone check the corner. Do not get 3-hit challenge. Teleports and straight on the vendetta they have against this Kiriko. Can't get the kills though. Oh, footwork. Fancy footwork from Anda. And that will be a shutdown for Lich. I thought he popped ult there, but he didn't end up hitting the Q. Lich falls. Unfortunately, mission unsuccessful there for Colombia. Trying to assassinate the backlines. Puerto Rico capped the points. And they kill Super Gomez too.
If Lich did not have to reload there, that goes so differently, I'm just saying. That is either a dead Kiriko or a dead Lucio, or both, as a matter of fact. So, Colombia, though, now have the ultimates to work with. It was only the overclock and that ended up being used for Puerto Rico, because that was all they had at their disposal. Colombia have so many ways that they could just blast Puerto Rico off their feet, and I have a feeling they're looking for Temp to be the first one.
All right, Temp, what can you do? Nice early railgun shot there. Insta-pops the OC to try and get the double tap. is going to be Chain popping that Nemesis bomb super early on. Annihilation available for Super Gomez too, but they're not going to need it. Very economical fight here from Colombia. They've already killed the Kiriko too, so Puerto Rico, they're not going to have any gas left in the tank. Never shooting the feet there. I see you. Puerto Rico with 87%. Okay, they're still in a good spot so that they can actually sustain in this next fight.
This is very doable for Puerto Rico. One fight territory. They'll have the tools to match. I think the threat of the Death Blossom is a little much. Switch.
Come on.
Like, how did they just not check the corners at this point?
Oh, you saw the Wraith form as well. I mean, that was so lucky that Talisman needed to get the mini.
Like, they're by luck checking these corners. That is not a good sign at all.
Ranked Reaper Gaming.
Yeah.
Both of them on the point right now, trying to fight each other. 33 HP though for one of them as Talisman just gets chased down. This rush is just so powerful for Colombia right now. And Chain hasn't got this Annihilation too. I mean, this is such an easy Reaper roll here for Lich. He ends up insta-killing Chain, following up with a kill onto Antwerp. And that's a team kill too. 75%. They cannot afford mistakes. Someone's going to have to speed up and touch. It's going to be Jono.
It's got to be Jono. He's the only one that's alive right now. Talisman not too far behind him, but Colombia are going to be looking to stop this touch with everything that they have.
Got a touch, Talisman. No shift, no problem there for Colombia. Nice little victory sound barrier as well. They end up taking the map and the series. 3-0. Okay, Puerto Rico thought coming into today they had a lot more guns than that, but it is Colombia that come out on top. And honestly, Molly looked pretty easy for them. Very strong in their group currently, and one step closer to a ticket to Busan.
Much needed win. Had the tough matchup to start against Team Canada, but night and day with this team. They have a clear game plan, know where their strengths are, especially with this Reaper. I think they're the team that we've seen lean into it the most so far, and have not had a reason to change it. Although it's not necessarily over for either of these teams. Colombia still have to get a win against Brazil, and for the sake of Puerto Rico, they could get a win against Canada, and we would have some insane tiebreakers on our hands. But one of those tasks much more difficult than the other. Colombia happy with this, shutting down this team that looked so good yesterday, getting that upset over Brazil. But Puerto Rico still showing that they are a young squad. They still have things to come away and learn what is ahead of them in their competition, and they'll have a week to do so before those next games too.
Yeah, they can rest easy for now, can Team Colombia. Very impressed with Super Gomez and Temp. I thought Sojourn was really good. Really, really clean as well. Standing up to the very best in your group is going to be really tough. I think both America's groups, they're just so difficult with the US and Canada. But, you know, there's some bright spots, and there's 2 spots available. So there is a very big chance here for Colombia to make the run to Busan. They're going to have to win the next one, though, to guarantee themselves. Round-robin format can be a little brutal, but, you know, coming in with a win, now sitting on 1-on-1, your step, you know, that first step in the ladder is already
taken. O tanque da Colômbia é muito bom.
Colombia, they didn't make it to last year, 2023's BlizzCon stage.
Oh, it's been a while.
I know, it's been a minute. Didn't make it there for no reason, and having, I think, the returning talent of Super Gomez at the helm. He's been around the scene for so long, combined with some of these newer players in both Pimp and Lich who have come up since then. Very good for this roster. Again, I don't think we got a true showing of what their potential was in their game against Canada yesterday. I will say, though, it did look a lot closer when Canada played Brazil. So perhaps a big challenge for them ahead in the next week, because that will really make or break their game so far. And as for Puerto Rico, same thing goes, but with the much tougher matchup. A ton of potential with this roster, but I think with a lot of things to clean up in a short period of time, you're asking for borderline a miracle to come away with a win over Canada.
Yeah, the Canada, they are the devils, the demons in the group, right? Everybody kind of knows that almost guaranteed a spot. Just for the caliber of players and how long they've been around as well, I think Cal especially on that team is just
talvez depois que eu finalizar esse ato 4 eu busque melhorar um pouco o meu equipamento.
USA obviously still leading theirs. Canada sitting at 2-0. think Colombia
Começar a
has
você passar interlude e depois fazer o começo do late game, né?
-4 map diff as well. I mean, it's not impossible at this point, unfortunately.
O problema é que eu tenho que passar daí, né?
Tenta. Se não conseguir, aí você troca.
O Brasil tem último, é só perder um.
Sim, Canadá tá com mais 5 pontos, Colômbia 0, Porto Rico menos 1 e Brasil menos 4.
Nossa, que lixo. Olha, eles vão morrer de novo?
Até o momento estamos eliminados. Vamos ver semana que vem, mas acho que vai continuar assim. Tristeza, é muito triste ver o Brasil em último assim. De um grupo. Tipo, não tá nem quase lá, segundo, no meio, não. Último.
That's I hate to break it to you, that's every World Cup group ever. Unfortunately, there's always one like there's always one demon mode team in the group, and that is USA and Canada right now.
Até mais.
Brazil, Colombia.